Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another BMBBH on Saturday. This is Kev, and asking all of you to help me beat the shadow ban. I mean, if there is such a thing that exists, because um, foolishly, I named a channel Black. So, I get it. I get it. I get that there may be somebody on the, or some people on the YouTube side of things that might be taken aback by a black man that pretty much feels like that he can say whatever the fuck he wants to say in a very crass and very profane manner. But I pretty much pride myself on not lying to you guys. And I have to carry on in life like that as well. So just a little small favor, just um I'm asking you to help me beat the shadow ban. But yeah, but something happened last time I was on the air. Um and that was the broadcast that I entitled I really tried with this space, but a couple of people on the panel got into a back and forth. Excuse me. They got into a back and forth, and it resulted in one of them, which was a content creator, opening up a broadcast on his channel. I guess because he was a bit heated and a bit flustered about what happened on this channel. And what kind of happened was it almost cut my audience in half. Now, I'm not going to spew sour grapes about that. Understandably speaking, I cut the broadcast a few minutes later, and I really wasn't very happy about it because I felt as if that content creator was kind of stepping on my toes, just a little bit, just a little bit. And I was always one of these guys. No matter what I did in life, no matter how much of a disadvantage that I have, I don't like to lose. That's why I've been saying uh, this a lot lately on my broadcast, and I've been telling myself this in reality that I am going to win. Because it's like this. It's like this. If you're any kind of content creator that is on a regular basis, uh, despite the fact that a lot of people feel the way they feel about StreamYard, and a lot of these guys come into this space to just talk shit and to not really help, content creators put a lot of effort into what we do in here. You know, I mean, it's pretty much easy to get up here, do a rigmarole topic, or try to do some gender back and forth topic, or a reaction video. But I have to, and I have nothing against that. I have nothing against any of that. These are just a lot of the things that I hear complained about as far as it pertains to this space. Um, my message for that is do you uh, at the end of the day. But I've been pretty good. I've been pretty nice and pretty welcoming. And I mean, nice is like the wrong thing to do in a space like this. You can't be nice and you can't really survive very long from what I can see because, you have people trying to, you know, ultimately and inevitably uh, um, trying to play you for weak. Low cast, what's going on, man? Oh yeah, shout out to the people in the chat. I see RPM. I'm listening. Most High's Armory. Hammer, what's going on, man? Uh, Low cast down there says, here's a channel name suggestion. I am brutally honest. Yeah, cause you know what? And I tell everybody, that I've been using this name for 5 years because of the Facebook group that I created. And it was a Facebook group for black men to speak our piece. Like, and I had no knowledge of anything like a Black Manosphere when I did this. You know, it was this was my brainchild. I didn't get inspiration from anybody who made any kind of big traction on YouTube. That's why I don't like it when Tommy calls us his bastards. That's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like it, because I came up here on my own steam. The space found me. I didn't find the space. I didn't beg to be a part of this space. The space found me, and you know what? The space was very welcoming of me, and I do appreciate that. But like I said, and like I was getting ready to say, I don't appreciate anybody stepping on my toes. I don't. I don't. And but when someone does that, okay, if you have a great broadcast going, and then someone else opens up a broadcast, and a lot of the audience say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go over here and see what this guy's talking about." It's really, when I really start to think about it, it's not really an issue with the audience itself. It's never going to be an issue with the audience because you can't control the audience. You can't do it. You can't. I can't make you guys stay. I can't. Even with the content creator itself themselves, they can open up a broadcast anytime they want. I mean, shit. If they decide to open up a broadcast every time I open up a broadcast, whatever that I guess they are attempting to do, and especially if they know I'm on the air, there's not really anything I can say. The thing is, when things like that happen, I take more of a visit to myself and my own content strategy. No, I still don't appreciate that content creator doing that, because, quite frankly, I felt as if that guy was throwing a fit. You know, I when people come up here, when people come to this platform, when people come to this panel, I'm very, very cordial about them being up here. I pretty much let people go. And when black men start to go kind of back and forth on some dialogue, here's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna show favor to one and just kind of try to shut the other down, because that's what that guy was trying. Like, he went on there and complained about it. He said, "Okay, Edward Anderson." He said, uh, "Kev should have checked that shit. Kev should have regulated that." No, Kev should not have regulated it, because, like, in my view, it was just as much his fault as it was the other person's. You know, and I got to make a confession. I don't like when people get up here and talk more than me. I don't. So that's why I really will, like, just monologue for about an hour, and before I open up a panel, if I decide to open up a panel, because a lot of you guys love to get up here and you love to make speeches. You think you're the most profound thing on the fucking planet. I mean, you act like that what you got to say is so goddamn important that it's going to overwhelm everything that everyone else is saying. Some guys don't even get a chance to speak that much. So it's like, I really would appreciate it if people started putting a cap on that shit, especially when it's like panels of 5 or 10. But that's something to regulate whenever people are up here. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, talk to an imaginary person that's not up here or anything like that. But the Edwards issue was basically that Judge Dre turned on the clock timer on his phone, and I guess he felt like I should have said something to Judge Dre about that. No, let that stay between him and Judge Dre. I'm not here to sit up there and manage people and treat them like children, and you know it is, but a little courtesy, it would be appreciated. So whatever their problem was, I just let them handle it. But let me tell you something. As this channel grows and as this audience grows, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna ever do it because I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go on when I feel like it. But to try to help someone grow and then to deliberately try to step on their toes, that's not what I'm about. This is supposed, and this is my view or my romanticized vision of black men. I believe that we're supposed to be under somewhat of a similar accord, not the same accord, but a similar one, because we're not a monolith. But at least we should know better than to sit up there and try to fight each other and have this bullshit HNIC complex, like, because I don't feel like that anyone is beneath me. I see Sheed in the building. I said that word feel, so I know what you're doing right now. um Look, but at the same time, a courtesy is due. So what I'm gonna say is this: I always look at myself first. Always, always look at myself first. if if my content strategy isn't that great, then there's improvements I need to make. But for those of you who really stuck by me through all of this, I really appreciate you guys, and I do try to, um, show that appreciation by at least showing you guys the basic respect. Oh, I see. I see Judge Dre is down there. I'll drop a link in a little bit, but I have some things to get off my chest. Oh, Phil Brad, what's going on? Thanks for showing up once again. So I had a comment under the last broadcast saying something to the effect of, okay, well, since you stood up for Sister George, unsub. So basically, this sub was saying, hey, you know what? Fuck you as an individual and as a person. Out of all the so called quote unquote good content you put out, the only thing that matters to me is you saying one positive fucking thing about Sister George. And I'm not happy about that shit either. Because look, this right here was never a gender war to me. It was never. I understood that that both genders got issues, and the opposite gender, which is B Dubs, they have issues. Yes, they do. That's something that I am never or will not ever deny. They do. But a black man to instantly turn their backs on another black man just because of one dissenting opinion, I gotta wonder who's more sensitive. Is it B Dubs or is it black men? What did I say that was so fucking bad that and I may be putting myself on the spot with this to make a total of 8 people unsub, which tells me that a lot of guys were just here for one type of content. And that content was bitches ain't shit. I'm not here to complain about people who do bitches ain't shit content because, hey, quite frankly, I gotta say, a lot of these bitches ain't shit. They ain't. It's just a fact of life. A lot of them ain't shit. But I'm not gonna sit up there and pander to a bunch of broken, hurt people like a lot of these other channels do. I I really want you guys to understand that this is not what this channel is for. This was never meant to be a black people ain't shit channel. It never was. And yep, someone else unsubbed. So since some of you on my sub list, yeah, and some of you are the realest people on this platform. I mean, seriously. And I'm not saying that because you stayed sub to me or anything like that. But I gotta say this: if you can't ride with me through disagreement, then you know where the door is. You're not supposed to agree with me 100%. You should never ever subscribe to anybody expecting them to 100% co-sign with every little one of your little broken and insecure thoughts. Even the intelligent ones. You should never be up here for that. You should never, ever, ever. But if you don't want the truth, if you don't want me to be brutally honest with you, then this is not the channel for you. It's not. I didn't come up here to kiss anybody's ass. I didn't come up here to be anybody's step and fetch. And that's anywhere from the audience, from the people in the clouds to content creators. I didn't come up here to be anybody's step and fetch. I'm a grown ass man. Period. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if I say 15 things you disagree with. The shit came from me. It wasn't to go up somebody's ass. It wasn't. It was never like that. And to just say, hey, you know what? You said one good thing about you said one good thing about a female that, hey, quite frankly, she said quite a few things you guys disagree with, but is she supposed to move? And I said it last week. Is she supposed to move the way you want her to move? Let me show y'all something real quick. Cause it is I like I said, I don't get you motherfuckers sometimes. Like a lot of you guys, hey, you know what? You're the best. But some of you guys, shit. Show y'all something real quick. Put a meme in my community tab. And I like my community tab because my community tab gives me my community tab gets a lot of participation. It does. And I wasn't kidding when I said this. And guess what? More of you can unsub whether you agree with this shit or not. But I told the truth in this shit. I told the truth. A lot of you guys can't handle the truth. So, all right. So for any of you that frequents my community tab, I appreciate you guys. Leaving your comments, leaving your thoughts, giving me a perspective, letting me in on things that, I might not have even thought of. Shoot. So let me share the screen real quick. All right. Share the screen real quick. So, me in my creative meme making, meme generating, this like when I make memes, I do them for kind of a comical effect, but there's actually a truthful message behind them. So anybody and start looking at these content creators community tabs because it really tells you a lot about what's on their mind and what kind of thing, what kind of agendas that they push and the kind of narratives they like to promote. So I say in this meme right here, and shit, I gotta say I did a damn good job with this one. I was like, dudes be like, then the top part say the black manosphere is dead. What are females doing here unsubbed? Yeah, and look, guys, black men, my vision of black men, we're supposed to be at least 10 times stronger than the women. If women come into a space, then we're supposed to regulate that shit. You're not supposed to sit there and act like they regulate you, or the second you see a woman, you turn tail and run. We have names for that, for those kind of guys, where I'm from in Alabama. But, I'm not going to say those names. Maybe progressively throughout the broadcast. But the bottom part said the same dudes on female platforms. Girl, you look good. You so funny. What's your cash app, baby? What's your cash app? And I gotta tell you, it's like I look at a lot of these channels, and a lot of the revealing parts of these channels would be what goes on in their chats and what goes on in the comment section. I've seen plenty of dudes. I've seen plenty of men who complain and act like the top, but when they get on female platforms and a lot of the Miss Andrew channels, a lot of the anti-black man channels, and be like that at the bottom. The fucking hypocrisy that I see when I'm on this platform from a group of men that I probably have too much faith in. But I haven't given up. I'm not gonna be like these other dudes who feels like that they can't get any traction unless they shit on other dudes. But this is truth right here. You'll sit there, you'll abandon a guy's platform, but you'll sit up there and be all happy-go-lucky when females are shitting on you to your face. Now, this is not talking about Sister George. I'm out of that convo right now. I mean, but like a lot of the blatant black man hating misandrous, you would be surprised. Or if you've been on this platform long enough, you bear witness to shit like that. A lot of these dudes would rather be on a female's platform that shits on them to their face rather than a black man who wants what's best for black people, who tries to advise these guys to go in a direction that is more beneficial to them as individuals. Y'all don't want that advice. And I realized this a while back. That's why I come up here and say I do anticipate that a lot of people who view my channel already have it figured out. You know, I try not to treat people like dummies right offhand. Granted that the more dramatic, the more bombastic YouTubers can amass large viewerships. The thing is, whether I do that or not, I have to be myself through this entire process. If not, that people won't stick around. People are just here for superficial reasons that are not authentic and not real. So, like any of you watching, I do appreciate your viewership, but my advice to you is to be here for a real reason, because it's just like those 8 or 9 people, and granted, 2 or 3 of them might have been bots. I give them that benefit. You know, it might be a person that lost their YouTube account because they say a bunch of shit in other places, and YouTube just got tired of that. And I mean, people have come back to me and say this happened a few times. There are a couple people that have come to the chat. This is my new account. This is me. Please give me a mod wrench. And then yeah, I'll give them a mod wrench if they can confirm who they are. But you know, if you're gonna just do that after one thing, then be my guest. Be my guest. It's just go. Just go, because people like that I'm never gonna be able to please. They're always gonna be looking for something. See if I can find this other one. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back just a little bit. Just one moment. Okay, if you're in here and you are new to this platform, you have never ever, seen this channel before, what I want you to do is go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and by all means, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can hit that dislike button as well. Now, me being a kind of a jokey type person, on this community part, on this particular community post, and I mean, like, I ain't got nothing against light skinned dudes. I mean, the little light skinned, dark skinned thing, I come from an era where we would just kind of jones each other, roast each other, and it'll be on nothing personal. See, on this platform, when y'all roast each other, it's very personal. And in 2022, y'all some new people. But, I said, I guess light skinned people do buckle under pressure. Being a cancer survivor myself, yes, I had leukemia when I was 15, which it kind of took a year of high school from, not so much took a year of high school from me, but I was out of there. I had to do homeschooling for that year. Um, so for those of you who didn't know, I'm a cancer survivor. So I said, being a cancer survivor myself, I thought you were one of the fittest. I thought wrong. And granted, mediocre tutorials and reviews, excellent content creator, really passionate about what he does. But, the thing is, I don't like moves that satiate the haters of this space. I don't like moves, whatever reason he was doing this for, you know, it just to me, when I made that statement, it's just that instead of complaining about something, why don't you just be the change? And I do understand that quite a few people have issues. And a lot of people even like, oh man, fuck this space. What I'm telling you is you ain't gotta be a part of any space. You ain't gotta be a part of it. You ain't gotta announce it. But my thing is it's not even so much an issue about the black manosphere itself. It's my issue is every time there seems to be a collective of black men, every time it seems like it something goes wrong, and then here comes the beefs, here comes the infighting, here comes the bullshit. And things like that will in fact make people want to leave. I can't get too mad when dudes start to just back and forth, start to fight, and then people don't want to be a part of that. I can't be too mad at that. But to not like, but it's like, look, we can't bail every time the going gets tough. Now, as far as people saying that I'm leaving the space, some of the reasoning that some of the people do give, I do agree with. But all this, I've grown past it. I'm too good. I'm a talented individual. Blah blah blah. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Like I don't give a fuck about anything like that. It's like seeing it's like seeing the uppity Negro that's in your family or in your circle of friends. They move to a white neighborhood, and all of a sudden they turn their noses up to you. Like they have this I have risen above. I have arrived. I made it. And it's a mentality that's quite frankly BS. It really is. We're not there for each other. We're not. If we are, it's on some superficial shit. It's on some trauma bonding shit. It's on some inward shit. You know. But a sensible collective, for some reason, Nine times out of 10, doomed to fail. Doomed to fail. Now, is it MTR's fault? No, it's not. No, it's not. Maybe he got a bit uncomfortable with how things were going. But I will say this. I was watching a video of his maybe some months ago, and he was like, he wasn't real sure if he was a part of the Manosphere or not. I wish I remembered what video that was so I could at least drop a link and a timestamp as to when he said that. So for me, it was kind of strange that he made a video saying why I am leaving the Manosphere. So it was like, okay, now he acknowledged that he was part of the Manosphere, and now he's saying he's leaving. So that was kind of confusing, and that's why I made the hater comment earlier, like the one where I said all you did was satiate the haters when you said this, because there was a lot of people that had no idea that he was actually rocking with the space like that. But in any sense of the matter, good luck to him. Like I said, he's an excellent content creator. He really puts passion behind what he does. And like I said, can't be too mad at him. Okay. Let me go to one more. Let me go to one more community tab. And let me highlight his. Because this is one thing I want black men to do. And like I said, I have yet to see black men do this. I've seen it like maybe one time in the Facebook group that has existed for 5 years. And it has something to do with those last two words in that paragraph. Fight back. So I'm going to read it. He said, y'all do know because you call someone an incel doesn't mean they're actually an incel, right? If the Black Manosphere goes down, then all of the misandrous channels and anti-black men channels should go down with them. Racism ain't your biggest problem anymore, black men. It's your own people. Fight back. So who doesn't agree with that in the chat? Go ahead and let me know. Because I'm going to be going over the comments in a little bit. So there's this thing where the FBI has started profiling incels. And I've already explained that on this show, how they're defining incel now. And it really is dynamically different than how they were defining incel a couple years ago. All of a sudden, you hear mainstream media, white controlled media, and law enforcement agencies starting to investigate this online community of incels. And all of the misandrous, the divestment, the anti-black men channels, a few of which are run by black men, are trying to stick that word incel on the space itself. And this might be causing pressure for people to, disavow the space known as the Black Manosphere. By saying that the Black Manosphere is just full of angry incels that hate women and hate the fact that they haven't been too successful with the women that they want, which is really a problem with the misandrous and divestor channels. But I don't know why people don't put special emphasis on that. And they just throw around that word incel. Like they just throw it at anybody that disagrees with them on certain topics. You're an incel. It's just that I'm tired of seeing the give up attitude. I'm not gonna go into this word incel because I've been called incel. It's like, how am I an incel? I'm married. The fuck? They just throw, like I said, they just throw this word incel at anybody. They get these words from white men, and then they try to apply it to black people just because you don't like them. just because you don't like what guys have been saying in this space. Just because you don't like what guys have been saying on YouTube in general. There are truthful things that you may not necessarily like bringing to the surface. Just throw incel at anybody. And hopefully the FBI will come around and shut that person down while you get to talk and talk and talk all the shit that you want. And that's me directing this at the Miss Andrews, the Swirler, the Divestment, the Anti-Black Men channels. Just because you call somebody an incel does not mean that they're an incel. All you're doing at that point is name calling. And what I have to say about this is that YouTube has community standards. They have guidelines. If you say anything too extreme and someone flags your channel, then YouTube will likely take care of it. And likely, if you're on your channel singing Kumbaya, they're probably not going to strike your channel down. So one thing that we do have to understand through all of this shit, and for all of those channel types that I just mentioned, that this platform belongs to YouTube. It's not Kevin's platform. It's not Judge Dre's platform. It's not Hammer's platform. We're just allowed to be up here to express ourselves as long as we fall into YouTube's community guidelines. Now, despite what you may personally feel about shadow banning or whatever, if shadow banning did exist, what could we do about it anyway? It's their platform. And I'm not saying it's right, but all's fair, because if you own the platform, you can set your own community standards and guidelines, and then you can do whatever you want to, and then you can have whoever you want to have up here as well. But there should be more of a sense of camaraderie, because we know that we're in that situation. Unfortunately, we are a people that love beefs and love drama. So, because of that, a lot of channels are going to get struck down because of that. And this is one thing that I've tried to avoid here. Because people don't, and this is our people, and I'm sorry to have to say this, and I may be playing into a stereotype, but we love drama, and as far as black people are concerned, we love drama too much. We love it. We love the volatility. We love the beefs. It's like WWE. and it sucks, unfortunately, for the more common sense content creators. So, I mean, I'm gonna, for those of you who know Shaka Nulu, he frequents the space quite often. He's a moderator in a lot of these chats, including mine. I'm just gonna continue to be myself. Whether people call me an incel or not. Because there was a content creator on Facebook that I blatantly disagreed with that called me that it was a female, and she's a content creator on YouTube, a known one that many do not like. Called me a socially awkward weirdo just because I disagreed with her. Call me all the names you want. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. And that's one thing that we have to realize. So, there it is. So, all right. Let me go through some of these comments real quick. All right. Go through these comments. Go through these comments. Okay, I already shouted out RPM. I'm listening. Most High's Armory. Hammer. Lowcast. Here's a channel name suggestion. I'm brutally honest. I've thought about changing the name. But, every time I bring that up to one of my close confidants, they're like, no, Kev, that's your brand. That's who you are up here. Why should you change the name? Judge Dre, KP from KC5. What's going on? Sheed, we here? Hammer. Oh, he asked for the link as well. Judge Dre, I know what that's in reference to. Great as me. Precious Brown. What's going on? Toya the Tutor. The Village Arsonist. Oh, I see you change your name back. D-Roll Nomer. Indigenous TV. He says, let me read this comment. For some strange reason, black men simply cannot go or do anything without somehow trying to bring black women along in some capacity. It's vomit inducing and frustratingly pathetic. Then he goes on to say, and these same dudes have given thousands in super chats. They've left a simp paper trail that's longer than the Nile River. Also, he said, women drive the space. It's the reality of the situation. Bernard has a female-led panel every Friday. The top content creator in the space during the day has a freaking female show on Fridays. Bernard, as in Bernard Riley. And, I don't have any direct problems with Bernard Riley, but, again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power. Big ups to Kev for surviving cancer. I appreciate that. And, that's some real shit, man. Kev is Superman out here, indestructible. Indestructible. Yeah. Thank you. But Gold Professor, we on a new channel. Gold Professor, you're probably on my backup channel. I simulcast between that and my backup channel. That way people can see, in case something happens to this channel, which can happen at any given time. And I will be surprised because I'm not a very volatile person. But in case something does happen, there's that backup channel. Okay. Says people got to stop the bickering and focus on the objective of this space. Ego has to, I think he forgot to type go. This is for the betterment of our black community and culture. You know what? I'm glad you feel that way. Indigenous TV, Kev, can you blame them for leaving? This shit is goofy. A space for men that has literally been turned over to the sensibilities of females. I mean, the sensibility of women, these dudes have critiqued for years. And this is in response to hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. We got to stop trying to save the so-called black community that never really existed. It could exist. It could exist, but I mean, the thing is, a lot of people say that because we are envious of how other groups can get together under the same accord when they look like each other, because it happens with Mexicans, it happens with white people, and all of them got this. Every group has dissenters in their group, but as far as the unity piece, other groups do a lot better than black people as a whole. And we see that in the mainstream media. We see that in social media. We see that in our neighborhoods, and we see that when we're out and about. We can't even support our own businesses. Like Roger, shout out to the Roger Report. I give him a shout out just about every broadcast. Roger had a channel on how, he had a broadcast, excuse me, on how we support black businesses. It's like if you have a bad experience at one black business, we paint all black businesses with that brush. If we have a bad experience at, say, somewhere like Olive Garden, it doesn't stop us from going to Carrabba's and then returning to Olive Garden. I mean, and that's the truth. This is a mentality that is going to be is more difficult than I expect for us to dig out. That's why a lot of people say that. Cortez Smith, he said, yet nobody has found one incel in this space. Yeah, because every time they say this, every time they say stuff about the space itself, the thing is, though, if you're going to say that about the space, have the courage to name some examples. If you don't like something about the space in particular, name some people. That's why like I have somewhat respect for Ty City. You know, a lot of people don't agree with Ty City's views, but at least he has the courage to name names. At least he has the audacity. At least he has the cojones to name the individuals that he has a problem with. A lot of people, in fact, most, will not say names. They won't. They'll be extremely vague, and then they try to paint the whole space with that same brush. I almost got into a back and forth with Alan Roger Curry on one of his community tabs. Post, rather. About him and how loosely he throws around the word incel as far as the black manosphere is concerned. Because I don't know, I guess CBS has this FBI's Most Wanted show, and it was talking about incels. But when I looked at the preview of the episode itself, the people that were in the episode were Caucasian. So my biggest problem with his community tab is, like, he tried to frame it like they were speaking of the black manosphere. And I was like, it's like when I looked at the preview of the episode, it was nothing but white folks. So there it is again, trying to stick that stupid fucking word on a group of black men. Indigenous TV, he says, Hybrid, you cannot salvage Krypton. A dead planet is just a husk of memories. It's time to move on. I mean, Indigenous TV, he's been pretty loyal to the channel itself. I'm not saying loyal like a dog loyal or anything, but he's been around quite a bit, you know. In fact, every time I open up a broadcast, I see him participating in the comment section. But just like you called me Superman Hybrid, he's calling the black community Krypton. Oh man, like you know, what a coinky dink. But my thing is like, what are the suggestions? What are the suggestions? Like I said before, or what I was about to get ready to say. Mexicans have no problem with this. Asians have no problem with this. White people ain't got no problem with this. Even Middle Easterns, they have no problem with this. They have no problem when they're in a strange land. They have no problem looking out for their own. And I have to say, I kind of envy that about them. Not to say that I'm worshiping and praising other groups of people, but like I said, they can not like each other all day. Your black ass walk into the fray, guess what happens? They come together like Voltron. Do you know the power that black men can display when we are united? I remember when I was younger, in the low times, like when I was employed in certain places, where we would have like a Caucasian supervisor, because that happens a lot. We would get together and talk and joke. But see, the thing is, the Caucasian male supervisor, like a lot of those times, will come into the conversation and be smug and act like that he had to break that up. And we will acknowledge it to each other. It never stopped us from fighting when it was time to fight. But it's like we would kind of acknowledge that, yeah, every time it seems strange that every time we get together, we're acting like we're unified, then they got a problem with it. But that same Caucasian supervisor, whenever the Caucasian employees were standing around, he would join them, talk, laugh, chop it up. I don't care how much had to be done. And I would look at this like we have the audacity to fight each other. And we're more on that goofy shit than anyone. Yeah, so however you feel. Cortez Smith with the my favorite 3 6 Mafia album as his avatar. He said the incel thing should actually be pointed at swirlers. We literally have a lot of proof that they can't get the men they want. I mean, look, the swirlers, the divestment community, uh, my biggest issue with them is that they, for some reason, they can't fully divest. It's like, look, if I said that, okay, say for instance, I made this to the black men need to go to white women channel, which is absurd in many ways. But we're speaking as a like a high like say for instance, I did that. I made this the black men need to go to white women channel, but every broadcast was about black women, negative things about B dubs. That wouldn't make a lick of goddamn sense. It wouldn't. And that's how I view these swirler channels and these divestment channels. Yeah, that, that's how I view them. Art New Style TV. What's going on? So Indigenous TV says, hybrid, you could be Zod, holding on to the specks of soul, thinking that it could be something more than dirt. It'll be Jor-El and save my children from the doom of an inevitable destruction. Oh, y'all still on that conversation? I don't know. Maybe Indigenous is right. Maybe Indigenous is right. We probably as a group of men will never be able to get it together, and maybe it's time to admit that. Maybe it's time to admit that maybe we're doomed to fail as a group of men. But really, that would really bring down a lot of the purpose of why I'm here. So it's a sad thing for me, especially being from Montgomery, Alabama, and exposed to the history that that place has at a very early age, and having an understanding of, you know, at one point or another, we weren't treated like human beings as a people, black men and black women. We were seen as less than human beings. And to see the way things are today, it kind of makes me a bit sad. It really does. And wow, maybe we'll one day we'll have it figured out. But I mean, for the most part, I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'm not gonna hold my breath. But let me get back to the topic at hand. Yep, this meme was very easy to make. Shoot. And my advice to any content creator: get a copy and paste app and get a meme generator and get a thumbnail designer. You know, a lot of people be like, "Oh, look, he put an anime character up there." I don't give a damn. Shit. But it just very much say that if you don't like what goes on this channel right here, there's the door. I'm not gonna force you to stay. I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and make you choose. I'm not gonna sit here and say that you have to be loyal. That you like if you don't co-sign to everything that I say, then you're just a no good person. And look at that. I lost two more subs. God damn. Y'all really upset about them Sister George comments like that? Like seriously? Shit. I mean, I might as well give Cynthia G a compliment. Like get out of town. Unbelievable. But I mean, I guess y'all taking my advice. I guess y'all taking my advice. This is why I made this stream. If you don't like what's going on there, hit the bricks. Hit the bricks. I mean, I have never ever disrespected my audience. Never. I've never done it. But like I look, maybe it's like the fact that there are some people that subbed that came from other channels that expected me to be a bitches ain't shit channel. Maybe that's it. And it's like this. The only reason why I say things about Sister George is because she's a habitual line stepper. I mean, like a lot of people act like they don't know that, and I've said it repeatedly. But it doesn't mean she runs the habitual line steppers because a lot of black people when you associate yourself with somebody that they don't like, they like to give them the power or they like to give them the leadership stick. And that's not the case at all. I wish I could really go through explaining all of the dynamics in that particular situation because ask Roger, ask Donnie, ask the other one, Darth Skater, our hidden mercenary, who's only been here like 2 or 3 times. But you know what? He comes out when he needs to. Ask them. Shit, if you don't want to take it from me, if you just want to unsub the channel, if you just want to punish me because you don't like Sister George, there's the goddamn door. I barely lose my temper on this channel. Barely. Shit. Let me drop this link. See if the other people, if people in the chat that are still that still want to come up to this panel. I mean, I've been speaking for like an hour. Street Fighter 88, what's going on? Man Cold TV, what happened? What do you say about Sister George? Here's what I said about Sister George. Number one, I said I don't have a problem with her. Number two, she's a habitual line stepper. Number three, how can the guys in this space expect her to move how they want her to move when they have attacked her and her husband? So get the fuck out of here with that. That's what I said. And people got mad and all in a tizzy about that. Jesus. But see, these same guys, like I said, be bankhead bouncing in female chats on female platforms who especially hate black men. And granted, I'm not telling men what to do with their money. Do what the fuck you want to do with your money. But then I hit their cash app for being shitted on. And I guess a lot of these guys took offense to that shit that I just said. So, hey, they're leaving the channel. Because I said I'm not a bitches ain't shit channel. Even though a lot of these bitches ain't shit. And then I've said what I've said, but it's not going to be every fucking broadcast. I'm not going to become this one-dimensional step and fetch ass Negro. Sorry. Street Fighter 88 says, ever since the first fake pregnancy scare, Rollo Tomasi predicted that there would be a mass exodus from anti-feminism content and the manosphere. And he also says, I was never on Sister George's team. I never understood why she would buy Ramil's channel. Why is she here? Let me respond to that directly. No, you don't have to be on Sister George's team. Just because Sister George is on the habitual line stepper team does not mean you have to come here and be on her team. It does not mean that. You don't even have to be on my team. You can just watch or you can not watch. Number two, I never understood why she bought Ramil's channel. She explained this over and over again. That it was on really some petty shit. But see, the person you should be holding accountable for that is Ramil himself. He the one that decided to sell that channel to her for $450. And my theory in the past has always been with that particular person, maybe he was afraid that if he sold it to a guy, that another man could possibly do better with that channel than him, even though that's not real good logic at the end of the day. Because Ramil built another channel, and as far as his chats and his viewership goes, he has one of the biggest in the space as far as the men. So maybe that's not very good logic on my part. It's just a theory. Why is she here? Why is she here? Ask the audience. The Black Manosphere is mostly the audience. Yes, it is the content creators, but people act like the content creators control who watches what. And that is certainly not the case. If the content creators could control who watches what, then I guess the audience distribution would be a lot different. But I can't sit here and tell the audience who to watch. And even if I could, I wouldn't, because that removes choice from them. I would be more happy that the 23 that are watching me right now want to be here, rather than me shaming them or forcing them to be here. I don't dirty Mac. Just because I don't necessarily agree with B1 and everything they say that's hateful about black men doesn't mean that I believe they should be watching me instead. Like, besides, why would I want them motherfuckers over here? I mean, feel free to watch whoever you want to as a content creator, but every time I click on one of them videos and I look at the comment section, it's like Naker, Dusty, Naker, black men ain't shit. Like, I don't want that shit over here. So, I mean, all the content creators do you, man. For real. It is the audience who decides. Just like I said, just like Mr. Temper Tantrum that opened up a broadcast and many people from this audience went over there to watch him scream. That was their decision. Even though I wasn't pleased with people stepping on my toes. That was their decision. You know, so when the breakdown opens up tomorrow, I guarantee that Sister George and Concrete Rose gonna have the same 100 to 200 people, many of which watch this channel, over there on that channel. So my suggestion to anyone that is slightly perturbed as to what she's doing in this space, ask the people in that chat tomorrow. Breakdown goes on about midday. Ask the people in the audience. Don't ask me. Shoot. It is his TV. He said, y'all act like Ramil sold the map to the city of Atlantis to Sister George. And now she and Curlin are ruling from a golden kingdom beneath the ocean. Kinda. Street Fighter 88. Like, look, man, look. You're entitled to your opinion, man. I'm not gonna be upset with you about it. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna disrespect this audience. I mean, unless you're disrespectful to me, then it's on and popping. Man Code TV. My thing is this, Kev. Who's saying these women are a part of the manosphere, though? If people watch their channel, that's cool. But how they a part of the manosphere? Let me explain something to you real quick. And a lot of people probably won't admit to this, but when BGS put out that list that was concocted by Roger, Edward Anderson, and myself, and then names were put on that list according to how the audience moved and who the audience took in. So, although there might be 3 or 4 female names on there, here's the thing. There are about 30 or 40 male names on there. And what I don't get is, why is it that we got to look at the 3 or 4 female names on there, which is the Breakdown, the Crimson Cure, Jessica X, and Nicole Ali. Which Nicole Ali, she hasn't really done all those broadcasts like that lately. She's one of the PhDs. She's one of the lesser, in fact, she's one of the lesser known PhDs. It's like, why just look at those 4 names when you have a wealth of male content creators that you could just support if you want to? I mean, a wealth of male content creators. And a lot of those male content creators that are in the space itself are not on the list. And a lot of them weren't left off on purpose. It's just that there's some names that we just don't know. I mean, one in particular that is a part of the space, whether he wants to admit it or not, that's not on that list is Grown Man Business. He's a content creator that, I can watch his broadcast from beginning to end because he has a clear message. Men first. And he's a pretty stand-up brother. But it's like, why is it that the guys who have the reservations about females being here, and I've said this over and over again, why not just support the male content creators? Telescope 3. In the final analysis, men who by their temperament are unwilling and unable to lay down the law, enforce it, and obey it don't deserve to run shit for real. That's interesting. But it might be true. Like, my thing is, though, as black men, if we're not willing to stand our ground, then we don't deserve it. Same problem I had in the group. Y'all upset when females are here, but then run the female platforms. If you're not willing to stand your ground, you don't deserve it. Stand your fucking ground. Fight back. Indigenous TV be going off down there. I appreciate Indigenous TV's presence. Like and like I appreciate his presence. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate the rest of y'all presence, but he be going off down there. Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force. We got a Hummer. So how's Baki and Ujiro doing? He said, I said this earlier. Those who leave the manosphere are may slide back to blue pill ideologies. I mean, you know, I don't know if that's fair to say for all people who leave the space. A lot of people just don't want the bullshit and don't want the beefs. I get that. Blue pill ideology might be a bit of a reach, but I do see a lot of motherfuckers that do gravitate toward the blue pill ideology that just, they'll just like they'll shit on the space. And I was watching this guy the other night, content creator that, he'll say something like, all this space does is talk about hoes. But had a whole broadcast on pygmies. This was like a couple nights ago. Some of you may know who this content creator is. And my dear, what? So you're saying that all the Black Manosphere does is talk about women, hoes, and stuff, but you make an entire broadcast about pygmies, which are women also. Which, hey, sometimes pygmies are hoes. Didn't make any sense to me. You're gonna make a broadcast because you're mad at pygmies, but you're complaining about the space always talking about hoes? Make it make sense, bruh. But see, I don't go in chats like that because see, those are the guys that expect you to agree with them on everything. Oh, Indigenous tea. Black Warrior Spirit. What's going on, man? What's going on? It's been a while, but good to see you. I mean, that those same cats will be in women's channel talking about what's your cash app, baby. Yeah. yeah, they be in them chat. What's your cash app, baby? What's your cash app? But they want to complain to me about, hey, you know what? The fact that I don't hate all women, I do understand. I do understand that I do set my boundaries, even with female members of my family. I only value their input to a certain extent. But as far as how to move as a man, I don't value their input in that. Because I mean, for real, call a spade a spade. They're somewhat biased. I mean, like, who has the tenacity to say that about their own family members? Oh, look, Indigenous TV. Hold up, dang, she pulled King Arthur's sword from the stone. Okay. Let me check something real quick. All right. Haven't lost any other. I mean, I lost 9 subs because of that comment. The fuck? All right. Got 37 likes in the building. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. If you are here and you haven't hit that like button, please do so. Please do so. Oh, and check out my latest upload from last night. And it's called Reflecting on Who First Told Me to Avoid Single Moms. And I got some dislikes on that video. So, you know what happens when that happens. Where is it? How many of these short videos I actually got up here in this damn? Good lord. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got some dislike on my latest upload. So here you go, guys. Since y'all won't do it during the broadcast.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze.
Damn.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze.
Damn.
Yeah, that it was more than one. So Black Warrior Spirit, do you have a wrench? Yeah, you got a wrench. You got a wrench. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give out another wrench. I mean, like, let me see. Who is gonna get a wrench that doesn't have a wrench? All right, let's see. I mean, cause I mean, it ain't like ain't like I got 100 wrenches out there. Shoot, I don't have that many wrenches. It's just that people with wrenches actually watch the show, which that does say quite a bit. But let's see. All right, there you go, Man Cold TV. All right. Man said, how could Ramil allow her to do all of these things? Ramil is not very happy with Sister George right now. I know you're being sarcastic, but it's because of that Tabitha Foster woman, chick or whatever. She made all these accusations against a black man, and she lost the case and looking for an appeal when there's actual proof that she lied. So, so he's calling like the Tough Talk TV folks the Me Too squad. Yes, I'm Lion in the Winter. This is live. Longo Savage, what's going on? I guess a couple of people they just kind of took offense to some of the comments I made on my last live, and they probably took offense to a lot of the comments I made on this live too. So, I got a few people unsubbing because, I stand on my own 2 feet, and you should want that for any black man. So, let me, yeah. I'm going to drop this link for anyone who wants to come up. If the guys are still in the chat that wanted to come up, you can. But if not, I'll go start with the exit process. Yeah. Yeah, but like, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that Supreme Court justice nominee? Because let me tell y'all something, man. I grew up as a Democrat. I grew up having Democrat beliefs. And right now, none of those beliefs exist anymore. And I mean, it's like what's her name? Keontae. Let me see. Let me see what her name is. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Yeah, my reasoning for not liking her in particular is not because she's married to a white man. And what I see a lot of what people are saying is, y'all need to keep that energy for Clarence Thomas. And what I would always do in response is, we did have that energy for Clarence Thomas. What the fuck are you talking about? But to be soft on pedophilia, to reject like discrimination concerns against blacks, and a TikTok video I saw earlier with a case where it was a child support case, and we 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 do and we do often talk about how child support needs to be reformed, but she ruled in favor of a white man. And they said that she has a history of being soft on pedophilia. And from what I saw, she blamed social media for it. The reason why she's so soft on these people. And I like, look, and I've always been like, right is right. So I may have a conversation about that real soon, because these kind of decisions on a national level do impact us as a people. And these are some things that we do need to discuss. Is not the whole, just me talking to you. I should have like these kinds of conversations as well. I kind of used to. I kind of gotten away from that. One D forever. What's going on? So yeah, I do appreciate all of you showing up. And for a lot of you in the audience, I will always appreciate you sticking by me through thick and thin. Some of you have been here for a while. Some of you are kind of new here, like Telescope 3. Hopefully Telescope 3 is subbed. But like I said, if you just want someone that agrees with you all the time, 24/7, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say something. I guarantee you that person, that unless you have like a really constructive mentality, that you will probably agree with everything that person in the mirror says. Yeah. And also, let me and this is something I should not do very often. Well, I don't do very often. But let me apologize for kind of scheduling shows and then pushing the shows off, because I do see people in those chats. I'll go inside the studio, and I'll be like, damn, because it's like I've been kind of working really hard lately. And it's just like, by the time that nighttime comes, I'll be ready to turn it in. I'll be so tired. But that really is like kind of a disservice to you guys who expect me, like, and this is one thing I don't consider, is like, maybe some of you probably schedule around watching my broadcast. And for me to just like push it off to another night, that's not very considerate toward you guys. So, there it is. That's not, for content creators that do take this seriously, and for you guys who take the content creator seriously, is not a very good service to you guys for a content creator to do that. Setting an expectation of being there, and I'm not there. A line in the winter said, I'd like to say something. I mean, hit the link, or you can say it in the chat. K. Dot said, at Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Is that like the old school Joker from the 1942 Batman film? As your avatar, but yeah, he said K. Dot at Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Why live-besters make so many excuses as to why they date white men? They be saying black men are conquered and white men are a dominant group. SMH. Because they're not creative. Their content doesn't really stand on anything. the whole thing is a lot of these people who speak of divestment, they have to say shit crazy in order to get their audience to stay. Because the main point of them being a divestiture is their disdain for black men. Lago Savage said, "No way there will be two black justices on the SCOTUS. Thomas will be out of there soon. His wife's name keep coming up in the January 6th investigation." Oh yeah, they said that she was a part of that so-called supposed that supposed insurrection, which I'll be very careful to speak on. He said that's definitely the Joker before Adam West. Oh, okay. Anybody seen that film, The Batman? It's a very good film. And it really sparked a debate between which Batman film is better, The Dark Knight or The Batman. Which, by the way, is that I like conversations like that because it really, like, at the end of the day, the winners are the fans of Batman. Because, I can enjoy both films. I don't have to get all in a tizzy about which one is better. But if you really ask me which one comes closest to respecting the story of Batman, it's probably going to be The Batman. That man said Batman Forever with Val Kilmer is Let me get my countdown of Batman films. Hold on, before I bring you up, let me cut out this music. Let me see. How do I put it? Like, definitely at the bottom is Batman and Robin. Hey, what's going on? Let me see. How do I put it? Like, definitely at the bottom is Batman and Robin. You got on YouTube in the background. Can you mute that, please? Well, what's up? You got on YouTube in the background.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me now. Okay, great. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, what's going on? Yo, I mean, I said you got you.
Oh.
Okay, great. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, what's going on? Can you mute your YouTube?
Yeah. Give me 1 second here.
All right. I said you got you.
Oh. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
What's
great.
going on?
Well, not much. First, I just want to give a shout out to you, Kev, and to all the brothers. Black men, save yourselves, stand for yourself. I appreciate the platform that you put together to give us a place to speak, especially because you don't probably realize it, but I came up under the name Khalid Omar Asad because I'm one of the moderators for the Black Men Being Brutally Honest on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I told you one time to calm down and post a little bit because they keep reporting to me that I was like, but the thing is though is that they don't like the truth coming from us, so they try their best to manage us a little bit more than they do these other groups. So I mean, you still got you still moderator, right?
Oh yeah, I'm in Facebook jail right now though. I mean,
oh okay.
I got into it with a tranny, so. But what I wanted to say is this: is that in regards to people coming and going and staying with this thing or being disgruntled about this thing, my thing to you is that man, always tell the truth. One of the things that I've held in respect, because you might not remember it, but when the whole Trump thing was going down, I was like just not with Trump. I just didn't agree with him whatsoever. But the thing is that I respected about you and everybody else, you held to your guns, you held to your values. And that's the thing. Like yourself, I grew up Like, so I can't say that I grew up in a Democratic household. The thing is, I really grew up in a conservative household. My grandfather, who was a vet and everything, he used to always argue with my aunts about, you always just want to vote Democrat, 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 and they don't do a damn thing for. I heard this back when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you could say my values were kind of conservative. So that's kind of what drew me to things. But the thing is, man, stick to your guns, Cal.
Oh yeah, I have no
Okay,
problem with that. And the one
stick
thing
to your
that
guns.
one thing that people need to understand when you come to that Facebook group and when you come to this YouTube channel is I've done this as me the entire time. I've never not been myself. I've never pandered to a certain group. Every opinion is mine, and this is how I truly feel. If you met me in the street, I'm the same guy. Period. The same guy. So I do appreciate you saying that. But but don't worry about that because it's like I'm like I said like you said I stick to my guns and I'm gonna continue to do that.
And that's really, and everybody else needs to realize that the people that are gonna, and the thing is this, is that the people that dipped, they're gonna come back, and because you know something is that you can't trade quality. Okay, you just can't, and they're gonna see that. They dip off, disgruntled about whatever issue, but then they have to come back because where else are they gonna go? Who else is? I mean, for real. And I mean, it may make your chest swell, but I mean, who else right now has given us this platform to actually voice? I mean, to actually discuss these issues that affect us. You know what I'm saying? In the most constructive way possible.
Oh, as far as constructiveness, that's subjective and that's your opinion because I don't like to drink my own Kool-Aid.
I feel you.
I can say I'm the best all day. I do believe in what I put out there, but as far as some people may think it's O'Shea. Some people may think it's Angry Man. Some people may think it's they may think it's Sheed We Hear. You know what I'm saying? And who am I to say that you're not getting that from another platform? But I mean, stuff like that isn't up to me. It's up to people like you. So if you say it, hey, you know what? I'm proud to represent. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Black Warrior Spirit. Everybody got to work that midnight shift. Great discussion to show black men being brutally honest. Much love. Yeah, and I mean, sometimes I do look at the beef side, and it's like, wow, it's in such disarray. But how do they get so much traction? And I do look at the traction that I get, and I want this message to reach a lot more people. I really do. And a lot of times I really wish we weren't like this, but I don't know, we might need to be like this because it's what I'm gonna say, how do I say it, maybe this kind of dissenting dialogue is needed because it exposes what we need to fix. And maybe that the people who do engage in the negative stuff, maybe yeah, like I said, maybe they're showing us what needs to be fixed so we can start working on it. But it's going to take a bit of proactivity to a degree. Now let's discuss the group for a second. Now it's like a lot of people have said that I will say in the group target women. I only will argue with women, that I only will disagree with women. They act like they don't see me disagreeing with a lot of the guys, which, I don't do that to prove anything to anyone. But, setting the record straight, if you see me arguing with a female, not even so much arguing, but disagreeing on that stupid shit that a lot of them say, then it's not because they're a female. It's because what they're saying is stupid, and untrue. Like one person tried to go back and forth with me because I called them a liar. And I'll tell you what the problem was. She kept saying that there are a bunch of black single fathers that want single childless women. And I was like, that's certainly not true. All of the circles I hung out in, a lot of black men who already have children will take a woman with kids. They call it matching energies. And it's like the complaint is more so on your side. Well, more so on the female side. They'll have these kids by Pookie, Pork Chop, Skillet, Junebug. They'll have them kids, but then when those guys don't work out, then they want a single. Then they want a single childless man. They want God to send them a husband or some shit like that, or live in this Tyler Perry meet the brown ass fantasy. you know, I mean, that movie, like Angela Bassett had what, four kids by four different men or something like that, and then Rick Fox came and swept her off her feet and saved her. Like that's not reality. And tried to argue with me up and down. Oh, you're saying that I'm a liar because you disagree with me. I said no. I haven't. I don't. Like a lot of these dudes that have these multiple baby mamas will fuck anyone. They don't prefer like or single dads. Like how often do you run into the whole single dad thing? Because they won out in court and they got custody of their child. How many times have you seen that in our
No.
community? Not a whole lot. And they're not saying that I want a woman with I want a woman with I want a woman with no kids. Now I will tell you this. I used to date this girl that complained about dating a single dad because he showed special attention to his daughter and not so much attention to her. I have run into a situation like that, but it wasn't this guy's preference. In fact, he dumped her because of the way she was acting. From what I gathered from that situation, and it's like when I started dating her, uh, as time progressed, I began to see why. you know, I did run into that situation, but I don't see a whole gaggle of men out here saying that they prefer single childless women when they have kids already. I don't see that. But what her problem was, I think you know who I'm talking about. Christine, right?
Hmm.
Christine, she always types these old scrolls in the in the comment section. Anytime a man has an opinion about the mentality of women, flip. She always try to flip the script and try to reappropriate it to gender. Like, she'll say some shit like, "You can't turn a hoe into a husband." It's like what?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So she's sitting up here arguing with me, talking about there are thousands and thousands of single fathers out there. I was like, you're lying. And I guess she got mad because I called her a liar and she started typing scrolls. But there's not a movement of single fathers out there that's saying they want single childless women. And then she brought up a couple YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, well, even if those were true, that's not the majority. And guess who one of the content creators that she brought up was?
Cool.
Cynthia G.
Uh,
And I mean, she has complained time and time again about gurus on YouTube, and how these black men that she complained about listen to these gurus on YouTube, but she brings up a video by Wigatron. So I'm sitting up there like, wow, the
oh, yeah.
massive hypocrisy of this person.
I hate Kevin Samuels' crew.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's like, and I don't even mention that guy that much over there and over here. I mean, whatever his level of success is, they do him. But if there's a bunch of people, men and women, who agree with what this man is saying, then it seems like ultimately your problem is personal.
But see, something. The thing is that we just have to keep in mind. Like the important thing you said is, something. They say a lot of stupid shit, but honestly, it's like pre-programmed. I mean, well, part of the stupidity is it's pre-packaged, and we know exactly where it's coming from, and we have to always keep that in mind. The thing, and that's the thing. Like being a moderator over there is trying to like really balance between, because there are times you just want to like listen, take this shit down, but we can't. You know,
No,
I mean,
the stuff that's too extreme, yeah, I do erase those posts. because I will say this: the group is in danger of being disabled because they keep sending me notices. And I mean, like, and I do believe that is in part to the fact that it's named Black Men Being Brutally Honest. You know, it's like they don't want black men to have platforms like that. You know, so I do take it, but for the most part, I don't take the post down. You know,
Mhm.
and a lot of these are like a lot of these posts that they really don't like are like they fact check against, saying something critical about their favorite politician, or somebody say something about a transformer or some shit like that. And it's like one person says it, but they'll blame the entire group for it. And I've sent messages to Facebook about that. It's like, why is this group under scrutiny like this when I see like worse shit in other groups?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, but what I try to do is I try to hold the group itself to a standard. And people, especially a lot of the females that are in that space, do not like that. They feel like that they're being censored. And what I'm saying is I'm trying to protect the platform. Now, granted, the platform has gone down from what it used to be because that group used to be like hopping, like day and night hopping. But here's what happened to it. What happened was females started making knockoffs. They started naming groups Black Women Being Brutally Honest, and a lot
Oh
of the
yeah.
guys and a lot of the guys that supposedly wanted a platform for black men, they went over there just to argue with them. So those are like some of my first signs that those were some of my first signs that a lot of black men, for real, are just simps. They say they or they're either simps or they're the guys that I would say one thing to after the thousands of things that they have already done, and then like I'll be like, look, dude, well, you need to kind of chill. And then the first thing they do is raise up and say something like, "Oh, so I can't be brutally honest, huh?" Huh? And then they'll take off, and you'll never see them again. Yeah. So I'm sitting up there like I've said one thing to you. I've said one thing, and I usually let you rock. I usually let you rock, and it's like you can't take one iota of criticism. A lot of that kind of makes the guy that kind of make the guys look worse than the females at times. And the reason why I say worse is there's an expectation for black men to be solid and to stand on ours.
Right.
Now, if you're going to sit up there and take it personal every time I hold you just as accountable as I hold a female, then you're not standing on very solid ground. Maybe it is personal with you, and maybe it is true what they say about us. Because that's because you've been around long enough. They'll tell me all day that that's a black woman hating group, that we hate black women. That they'll tell us that crap all day long. And it really throughout the 5 year history of that group. Let me tell you something. There's things that went on behind the scenes that a lot of people didn't see that happened with me. Like I've been doxxed. People have called my wife. Oh, do you know that your husband is saying this and that? And then like she'll come to me and is like, are you saying this and this? And I'll be like, hell fuck to the yeah. You should know this about me by now. Shit. The fuck? Fuck is wrong with everybody?
Like, who the fuck are you trying to tell on?
Like snitching. Ugh. Hey, he said this. I mean, I've even called the job that I worked at the time. I said you may have some dumbass calling, trying to fuck me up, and then my supervisor be like, man, I ain't even studying that shit, and I'll show him exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, dude, I ain't afraid of this world. That's the one thing people need to understand about me. I'm just like Bernie Mac when he debuted on Def Comedy Jam. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Not at all. I ain't scared of you. But if you don't, but see, the thing is with me is I try to keep it as level and as 100 as possible. So if they do get personal with me, I gotta do something. I've had people threaten me in my inbox. I had people threaten me in the Facebook group, talk about they're gonna shoot me, I'll fuck you up. I kick your ass. I stomp you in the face.
These are black women?
No,
Or these simp ass niggas?
these are simp ass niggas.
Oh.
Like simp ass dudes. I've received all kinds of threats. And I'm just like, look, nigga, hey, and I'm still here. Nothing has happened to me. It's like you need to stop blowing all that hot ass air. Like, fuck you. It's like one dude talked so much shit to me. He's talking about, I'll do this and I'll do that. All I said was, look, man, don't make me come get you. This motherfucker was in my inbox. Well, you know where I stay? You know where I stay or something like that? And somebody actually inboxed me and told me where this dude was. It was like, look, dude, he talking about your dead. Like, he started talking about my dead grandparents. And this is what I do not get for the life of me. Why people want to attack
What?
dead. They want to attack dead relatives. It's like the second they understand that they cannot defeat your logic, they start getting really personal. They start attacking your dead grandparents. Like, shit, it was a couple weeks ago, somebody said something about my mother. And I'm like, shoot. I'm like, dude, for real?
This was a guy from the group.
No. Well, the one that said something about my mother, there was a guy in another group. Because, a lot of us don't like to be disagreed with. But, like, the guy that was talking about my grandparents, like, I found out he stayed 30 minutes away from where I was. So he was like, you want to meet up? I was like, first, like, I fucked with him a little bit. I was like, okay, dude, we'll meet up when I'm ready to meet up. Okay. It was like, okay, I was like, say Wednesday. So I told him Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm free. Hit me up. I'll come to you. We'll do what we got to do. But, don't expect me to just be like, just be all shook about the shit. Like, quite frankly, fuck you in your life. And he was like, all right. So he hits me up Wednesday. He said, you ready, pussy? You ready to throw down or whatever? I was like, sure. I'm like, yeah. I was like, where you at? And he was like, he told me where he was. I said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. You know what this dude turned around and did? He was like, oh, man, I was talking about this evening around 6 o'clock when I got off work. I said, man, shut that dude. Don't say shit else to me. You say anything else to me, I'm going to show this screenshot. You're a pussy. I knew you was a pussy. He's like, you weren't supposed to know where I was at anyway. I said, you always talk shit to people with the anticipation that they don't know where you are. Dude, you supposed to be badass. You supposed to be talking all this cash shit. You told me I was too old, that you would knock my ass out. All I wanted you to do was prove it. and he did. These dudes, let me tell you something. They're like, they're like in these YouTube streets, there have been people pulling up on people anyway. Like, there was that somebody pulled up on Pocket Watcher with JT. Like, and of course you heard about Saint and Sinner pulling up on Kevin Samuels. And Saint and Sinner pulled up on Kevin Samuels in Vegas. And then all they did was all he did was take a selfie. That's all they did. These dudes ain't about that life for real. Some of them are. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause I was watching Mr. Palmer earlier, and them dudes was saying some crazy ass shit on there about what they've seen on social media, and I'm like, damn, it ain't that serious.
But you know something? I think that from that, we look at it from what's the word that I'm looking for? It'll come to me. But the deal is that all of this behavior is reflective of the fact that it lets you know the control mechanism that white supremacy has put in place to dox and to silence us. You see how strong that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say, to a degree, it's like, we could look at it as this is entertainment or edutainment, how we want to address it. This is us discussing these issues, but understand there's a personality, there's a mind, there's a heart behind the opposition, okay? And it's directed at us. And it's like, when you sit back and think about it, it's like, wow, that is a lot of energy put towards silencing us. Okay, that's a lot of energy put towards us not being brutally honest. They want to control all of that. So you've got the master, the white man's lieutenant, Okay, and then you got her second in command, i.e. the simp, is right there to support her controlling us and what we say. I remember a couple of years ago on Facebook, there was a civil rights group called United Front that I was a part of, and really attractive light skinned chick, and I'm trying to remember her name now, out of Salt Lake City. Um, what was her name? Anyway, what got me in trouble with that group is I posted information about, this was about civil rights, black power, whatever, and I posted information about buck breaking. And
Oh,
the
they don't
person,
like that.
oh no, Kev, let me tell you, they jumped. The first thing they jumped up is they wanted to talk about, he needs to remove this, he needs to be deleted. This is homophobic. It says there's nothing homophobic about the truth. So I went in and I said, you know something? Homosexuals and you feminists are in the bed right along with Massa because you know something? You support white supremacy. I said nothing says defeated more than our young males, our future soldiers, our future warriors being marched in front of these pedophiles and these homosexuals in dresses, skirts, and high heels. Nothing says more defeated than that. And nothing says, you know something? I've done a good job, Master. Look how broken they are. They're not a threat to you. And they lost it. They lost it. I mean, they came after me. So I know what you're talking about. But that's what I'm like. I'm like, you know something? There's so much energy. And this is, people say, you can't take social media seriously. I think in certain arenas you have to.
Everyone that says that shit takes social media serious. Everyone that says that. And I've had family members, I had people I rock with on Facebook, people I rock with on YouTube say that shit. And every one of the motherfuckers take that shit seriously. Every one of them do. Like they'll say don't take it seriously just to defeat your argument. And it's just like, well, you kind of take it serious. You ask me why I'm up here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like shit, it is like you can't control what the fuck I'm saying. But you know what? The thing is though is like usually sometimes people like that. And like I said, I bring up family is because like they stand in opposition to a lot of the things that I say is because I will tell them in a minute. Y'all are programmed by that boob tube. You're
Hmm.
programmed by television. It like I don't see a lot of those folks that say that shit. I don't see them really repping black causes unless the TV starts it first. I don't see them, I don't see them repping like any kind of cause unless the TV says it first. And then if the TV says you got to rep this and rep that cause and rep that cause right there, then they'll go full steam with it. And I'm sitting up there like, why are you repping the alphabet community? Why are you repping the Asian community when we have such a checkered history with them? And then you look at the TV and that's all they're pushing.
Hmm.
Uh, Ray Hanma is up here. What's going on?
What's up, bro? Man, I just want to chop it up with y'all for a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
because what you spit, man, was hitting the chords of my soul, man. Yeah, you got a subscriber right here.
Okay. Oh, and
Yep.
shout out real quick. Shout out to Deesky Belly. Said just a difference of an opinion, brother. Words get said sometimes. Support. Thank you for that super chat. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, it is sometimes that yeah we do have a difference of opinion, but this ain't like this ain't just directed toward a particular person. It's directed toward anyone that feels that way. And people do understand that I do try to keep it as 100 as possible. And Donnie is in the chat. My habitual line stepper brother. What's going on? So go ahead, Ray.
Nah, man. Actually, I appreciate the brutality of your honesty. I love it. I
Oh,
love it. Yeah, and what bro was saying too, man. Yeah, it's being pushed, dude, so hard to where it's disgusting, man. I can't even. I'm looking to find like a decent hero show, but I can't because they're pushing this damn agenda.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's annoying as hell. I'm like, by y'all pushing this agenda, y'all ruined the creativity of what this project could have been.
Yeah.
And yeah, just also too, man. Yeah, I'm. Oh man, I'm with you there, bro. Like, I was just cheering, man. Like while I was in the chat, bro, when you said, man, hey, I don't feel, I don't fear the world. Fuck you. Yes, yes, sirs.
Donnie said, I'm unsubscribing because you ain't crying about these pros.
No.
No, that's my boy though, man. That's somebody I could say I could rock with. You know, I speak with him on a regular basis about, you know, certain things, and you know, it goes beyond the superficial. Uh, you know, so I can really say that he's one of the ones that's really down. You know, even though it's through social media, I've known him for a few years. And Gilgamy, thank you for the super chat and your support as always. Really appreciate it. Yeah, but like I said, it's like for those of I'm the kind of person that knows who's down and who isn't. You know, and it's just that simple. Is if you're here for superficial reasons, if you're here to just hear certain things being said, then is okay. But
It's going to end up showing in the end.
yeah, it is. I mean, I can't fake it for people because it's like if I lie to you guys, I have to keep that lie up. If I'm not true to something, then it's gonna show, and I'm gonna break sooner or later. And then you you're gonna say something like this guy's really full of it, and I understand that.
Yep.
So, like I said, what you're hearing right now is who I am every day. I'm like this every day. I have no qualms about sharing my actual opinions with people. Even in a professional setting when it's appropriate. If people ask, I will tell them the truth. And then if they get mad and throw a fit about it, I'm like, well, you shouldn't have fucking asked. Shit, now get back to work or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So
And I appreciate brothers like that, man, the most, man. Not sugarcoating it and none of that shit or whatever.
Exactly.
But that's I mean, being in the practice of, within their own selves of being balanced, balanced to where you can have some agreements with your brother and then some disagreements. Now, when it continuously being like disagreeing, then you can easily come off as this what I like to call the overlord complex.
Yeah.
And no man is my overlord.
Yeah. One thing I don't really like is when someone disagrees with a content creator in the chat and the content creator really just starts to curse that person out and disrespect that person. Like I mean a civil disagreement, not this whole not disrespect. Like I get disrespect. You disrespect me, I'm coming for you. And it's like I'm not gonna spend too much time on you. And if it gets really crazy, if you got a rich down there, then you can do whatever. But as far as like pushback, devil's advocate approach, to whatever I'm saying, if it makes sense, it'll make me think. Well, maybe this person has a point.
Yeah, you're talking about what you was talking about earlier. Those cats that was like, okay, you got to agree with me on everything because I'm your overlord, kind of shit.
Yeah. That the overlord complex, and nah, I ain't gonna be like that. I'm it doesn't make it if I'm gonna call myself black men being brutally honest, then that will contradict that one thing because it's like it's not brutal honesty. It's just is brown nose and his ass kissing at that point. It's like I don't expect people down there to kiss my ass. If I say something crazy out the way and wrong, you have every right to speak up. Like now, the likelihood of me thinking that is wrong when I say it is probably not going to exist, at first.
Mhm.
But if you can say something constructive to get me to think, then I'll have no problem with it. A lot of these, like even like with people that frequent a lot of these content creators, like on a regular basis, a lot of these guys will disrespect their audience, and it's
Oh my God, I can't stand that to the highest order.
But see, you know what that speaks of? How disingenuous they are about addressing the issue and being devoted towards us moving towards viable solutions that affect us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
That goes to show that when they want to sit back and somebody says something that goes against what they say, I mean, they haven't given any consideration to what the person said. They just want to jump down their throat, cuss them out, like Kev said. That shows just how disingenuous they are. This is him coming online as is like his ego boost when you find characters like that.
yeah, and is I hate to bring up the high school thing, I really do, but a lot of like the guys that do that, they were kind of the guys that got mad when they looked at the yearbook and they didn't get voted in the who's who, or a lot of people wouldn't just sign their yearbook or whatever. Those are those kind of guys. It's their high school second chance.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
That's a
my
good way to put it. Damn.
it's my second chance to be popular where I didn't receive that popularity. Like even when I was in high school, I ain't give a fuck about these people. Like I had a best friend that acted like they were upset with me because I didn't conform to the popular people, like not trying to be this super cool guy. I'm like, look, if they can't accept me for who I am, fuck them,
Exactly.
and I made friends anyway. You know, sometimes
And
I
then
would.
and does that show, bro, that these cats still have like their high school mentality, of wanting you to conform to the ways of how everything else is?
Yeah, like I wasn't the guy that wore the high top fade when everybody else wore high top fades. I'll put it to you like that. And I didn't do that just because everybody else was wearing high top fades. It's just that if I felt like it wasn't for me, it wasn't for me. Now I did wear a box fade at one point, but that's only because I wanted to do it. Like,
Right.
or I wasn't and a lot, and sex gets brought into the conversation a lot. You know, I was in, I'll go ahead and admit this. I was the guy that wanted a girlfriend instead of having sex with all these chicks. Because then I'll watch all these chicks with these full bellies. And the one thing that was always stressed to me was if you, especially by my parents, if you do that, get a job. You're gonna you're gonna have to get a job. You're gonna have to give up a lot of things that young people do. You're gonna have to pay, like they were making it like having a baby was like the most expensive thing in the world. So I always feared that kind of thing. And then guys would wear that like it was a badge of honor. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna follow the crowd on this. I mean, shit, it feels good, but like it wasn't worth getting somebody pregnant at the time. And like high school pregnancy wasn't as rampant back then as it was now. We did have a couple of them, but it wasn't like everybody was pregnant, or everybody was alphabet or something like that.
Right.
I
Right.
just
There was
did.
like a few of them in my high school that was pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, this was back in the early 90s, showing my age a little bit. But shout out to Hybrid Ninjas, what's going on? And Telescope 3, thank you for the super chat. He said, I appreciate your sanity. Rare and refreshing around here. YouTube equals the 13th grade. Yeah, in 13th grade, I hear Village Arsonist say it quite often. There's some 13th grade nonsense going on around here.
The 13th grade.
Yeah.
I just
And
think if people just like it's people. It's like you say. It's like a trendy thing to do. I remember this is funny. I remember like back in the day when Behold the Pale Horse and all these books that came out. And it said for the people that were like really onto these things, like we'd read those books like years ago. So here we fast forward like almost like 15 years later, and people, oh yeah, and this is the thing, these are the same people that used to talk to about these issues, about these existing issues, these issues that people wanted to say, well, I just don't see it. No, it was invisible to their eyes, like what we're going through right now as black men. And it's like now suddenly, you know something? I think that the black man needs a safe space. Like, if you don't shut the fuck up, Actually, it's trendy. It's trendy for you to say that now. You know, it's you're trying to be in. You
I'm not a particular fan of the word safe space because, see, here's the thing for black men in America. America's not a safe space for you, you know. And what do they mean by safe space?
Hey, that's
Like,
real talk.
like what do they really mean by safe space? Is like a space where everyone agrees with you and there's no dissenting opinions. If you want to do that, become a divester. Like do like they are in a what they call a safe space and echo chamber.
mm,
You know, that's how I take safe space rhetoric. Like it's an echo chamber. Like everyone is supposed to agree. This
Now, I
is
was looking at it as like a place where you can, spit these facts and these truths, what I mean, about what's going on, and not like have to worry about getting physically attacked or whatever, as if you was to talk about it like, in your own real time with other people.
oh, okay. So a physically safe space, like you can express your opinions without the possibility of physical danger, which which
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it when you come up to these panels and these platforms, and even when you become real popular, uh, you know, you shouldn't have to do that and then fear being attacked when someone sees you in public. You know, is like you're becoming a kind of a mini celebrity. You know, it's just that and I do understand. And people say a lot of things about the avatar thing, about people talking behind avatars, which I don't wholly agree with because people are trying to protect their livelihoods. Because uh, if a lot of these people come up here on this platform, show their faces, and say a bunch of shit that some of these folks don't agree with, then they'll start calling jobs. They'll start calling, oh, this person said this
Right.
person said
mm,
that, and try to get these people fired just because they couldn't defeat the intellect of this one particular person. No matter how much truth is coming out of your mouth, like I said earlier, when I I was doxxed for that Facebook group. People have doxed me. Somebody called my wife trying to dry snitch, like that was actually gonna work. Like, and then I had to call my job. They say, look, somebody might call you and be on some bullshit you know. And then they'd be like, "Well, what did you do?" I said, "Well, I said some stuff on Facebook." And I told them the truth, and I even showed them the group. And he was like, "Man, I ain't worried about that."
Yeah, man. I mean, nor should they. I mean, because it's like you're not talking like on some high terrorist group shit. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell does it matter? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna lose one of my best workers, you know, for over some bullshit. No, the
And
hell what
your
you talking
assessment is
about?
correct. Your assessment is correct because I was always a go-to guy. Like, with like I was an asset. I always made sure I was an asset. You know, and that's in the vein of what that particular person was thinking. I was like, when I was like, when someone says something, I just kind of roast them. Now, I haven't really showed roasting ability up here. I have to be in a special mood to do that. I don't consider myself a real good roaster, but when you really piss me off, then it is the gloves are off. The gloves are off. I'm a I'm gonna make you do stuff like say fuck your dead grandparents and shit like that. I'm gonna I'm gonna make like
Yeah.
there's a content creator there's a content creator that wasn't a content creator when the group first started that went at my kid when she was 2 years old. And I'm sitting up there like I kicked him out of the group immediately. But that content creator is kind of known in this space.
Oh,
So
damn.
yeah, they are. So, when the time is right, I'll reveal who that person is. But for now, I'll just go ahead and just be like, okay, as long as you don't cross me too bad while I'm up here, it ain't like they're gonna discredit that person because the kind of crowd that person is dealing with believes that shit is okay. You know, it's like if you talk about they call yourself like in the group itself they was like, okay, this is a space where all these dudes do is talk about and bash black women, blah blah blah. And I was like, every time I would get in the back and forth with someone, They'd be like, "Oh, all you do is bash black women." I said, "Show me where I bash black women. Show me a screenshot." And then you know what they go to next? You allow others to do that. I said, allow? You mean to tell me that I actually control and affect the freedom of speech and the thoughts of a person? You think I'd be in people's inbox saying, "Hey man, why don't you go ahead and bash these black women?" you know,
Yeah,
and,
it's stupid, man.
and these simps will believe.
Are the worst.
Yeah, they're the absolute fucking worst. That's why I don't like them.
I hate them.
Hey, you'll find on my channel, man, where I bring that shit up, man. And I try to tell brothers, to warn them to get them ready to, to face diversity, man. When you're out and you're standing strong in this, because you're gonna be triggered and ready to stand in your masculine square as you should. So therefore, it's best for you to go into this with a fearless mentality of basically my motto: 1 against 10 million.
Yeah. And like the outright, once you, especially my kid, I'm very protective of my kid, as any father should be.
Amen.
Once you do that, you're on a list with me forever.
Yep.
Meaning that if I ever see you physically and in person, I'm gonna be so compelled to ask you about it. I'm gonna ask you about it. Yeah, what was that shit, dude? What was that shit? What was that shit you were saying? I'm gonna do that. And you can either apologize, but there's some things to me that you can't really sit there and apologize for. But here's the belief.
Right.
The belief is, since you talk about black women, I can attack every black woman in your family. So basically, who's the hypocrite after that? If okay, so you're sitting up here calling yourself a protector of black women, but you'll attack those black women who have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm saying or what I quote unquote allow someone to say.
And see, that's why I said we need to have a different, perspective on this thing. That is, I mean, think about, that's the thing to really think about is like, these are the supporters. And that's the thing. You know what I call them? I call them the unseen pillars of white supremacy. These simps and these black women that come at it sideways. And that's the thing, is that the only thing, if they really look at what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring balance back to our culture. That's all we want. We want to bring balance back. We want to be a solid people again. We want to have values again. And they are in total opposition to this, to the point that they're talking about doing the things like I don't know how you maintain your cool. Listen, check this out, nigga. I'm gonna be watching for you. I'm gonna get your phone number. I'm gonna come. I might even throw rotten eggs at your house, bro, because some of you tick me off that far, talking about what you're gonna do to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the thing is, that's the thing that is like that I sit back and I look at it and I'm like, they are really, really. And it's like, no matter what line of logic you bring to them, no matter how solid that line of logic is, they are in defense of white. And you know what I think the real thing is we need to bring to bear is that I remember I was taught a long time ago, says you really want to know who has the power? Look at who you can't talk about.
And it's not that you can't talk about them, is that there is a penalty and a consequence for talking about those particular groups. And I understand who you're talking about. And one thing that I would stress to a lot of these black men out there, if you want to do something about that, you're going to have to try to work toward getting in those positions. Like, I'll give you a very small example. Like what's happening to Marvel and DC comics. Now, I know that you guys may not be comic book readers or whatever. There are some
Oh, I
people,
am.
I am.
yeah. So a lot of that they're switching to a certain element. Like they're what basically what they're doing is they're elevating the female characters to like just on a regular basis dominate the men. And the men that were dominant, they're getting them to explore their feelings and their sexualities and such. Like guys,
Turn them bitch made.
Yeah, turning them
Yeah,
into
pretty
bitch
much.
made.
Yeah.
And what is happening is like a lot of people are leaving those platforms. Like I don't even read Marvel and DC comics anymore because of this bullshit. It's like they're starting to lack creativity and passion. Instead, they're trying to make headlines. Same thing with politics. Like a lot of people that Joe Biden has appointed to his cabinets are alphabet people and and B Dubs who have basically sold out the race. He's appointed a lot of them to that because when he was talking about the SCOTUS nominees, notice they were all B Dubs that were married to white men.
Mm-hmm.
They were all.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were. I mean, Michael Eric Dyson went on this whole rant about it. Like there were not black men that were really checking them out when they were single and blah 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 and all this other crap. And I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Like like seriously, like, because number one, he's lying because there is like and I'm not complaining or spewing sour grapes about, do you date who you want to date? I don't care. But
Yeah, I got you.
at the same time, don't tell me black men weren't approaching these women. Don't tell me that because it's not true. There'll be plenty of black men that'll approach these girls, and these girls will call them thirsty. They'll call them thirsty. They'll call them creeps. But then, and then they'll be very argumentative and adversarial. But then, like when Chad steps up, oh, and I know I probably might get called an incel for saying this, but when Chad steps up, all of a sudden they're the most feminine women ever.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And yeah, not just Chad. Oh my God. They'll come with all these lists of demands and all that stuff, man. What black man gotta do for them and all that shit there. And then damn it, as soon as they get a damn dirty Billy Bob, you know what I mean? Oh, he ain't gotta come with not even half the qualities, damn it, hell, that they're demanding for you to come with.
Of
Hell,
course not. My baby's gonna have
he
good hair.
he goes to sleep dirty and wake up dirty. Hell, or it could be another Serena Williams type of situation where she got to teach this man how to use a damn wash rag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's this dude thing. Like there's this YouTuber. This bottom shelf Brad. His name is Cohen Manic, I think. I don't know if you've heard about this guy, but basically he dates interracially and he heavily panders to black women. But oh yeah, shout out to Roger's son. What's going on? Now I don't like I said I don't have an objection to date who you want to date, but this dude has been making a bunch of YouTube videos dusty. I mean, YouTube videos lately calling black men dusty, and and like he's done collabs with a black woman before, and basically he's been co-signing to CG's rhetoric. Oh, Wigatron, he's been co-signing to her rhetoric,
Oh,
and they
Sinji.
yeah, and said that he made this video that CNG is wrong about black men, but it was a clickbait title. He was saying that she was right and started calling black men dusty, and then turned around and used the Q butter excuse. Oh, she's just talking about the dusties. I'm just talking about the dusty black men. The thing is about that is this is a white man talking about black men based on the fact that we're black, not because we're dusty, because we're black. And this is why I call dudes on that side weak as fuck anyway. Because when they see shit like that, they won't rail against it. It's like, look, dude, it's talking about black men, and based on our checkered history with them in this country, that shit never fly. Period.
Never. Yeah.
Right. Like he should be hunted. Damn it.
Yeah, we should be trying to stick our foot in this dude's ass. And he looks like some old decrepit diseased character.
Oh.
No, for real, he looks very shriveled up. But see, the fact that he sings the praises of B Dubs, especially, has attracted the divester crowd. And all you see in his comment, these dusty black men blah blah blah. Some of my comments have disappeared because there's dust in the comment section, and it's just wow. I'm sitting up there like, what you're doing is you're pandering to a group of mentally fragile people. And what I will always say about that is a dangerous thing to do. It's very dangerous because that person, like when they find out when that you're actually not being true to yourself, they might hurt themselves in the process because they invested themselves so emotionally into people like this. Plus, this is a treasonous thing to sit up there and now, man, okay, let me bring up a white woman YouTuber that talk about black men. Good mother. Now, not black men, black women. Good mother. She be saying crazy black bitches and all that stuff. One thing that I didn't do that one thing I do not notice that is a heavy difference between her and Cohen Canick is the fact that they're not her comment section aren't full of black men telling her thank you for telling the truth about these black men. Oh my god, I mean these black women. Oh my god, these bitches, these traitors, all this other shit. They're not. Her comment section is not full of black men. Black men praising her for saying stuff about black women. In fact, there have been a few black male YouTubers that have pushed back and even roasted her for that shit. And that's a huge difference between the way that we approach white women who talk about black women as opposed to white men who talk about black men. Black men, and then the few black men that will push back in the comment section against the white dude, the divestors would attack him. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you criticize? And we got to protect our zaddy and all this shit. I'm like, this. It was something like it was the most desperate shit that I've ever seen. So let me read these. Let me read a couple of these comments. Roguish Son said maybe the operators of Marvel were never about the principles that they laced in their material. Maybe it was, in the words of MC8, all for the money. Here's what it is. There's a certain group of people that came into Marvel Comics after Stan Lee passed away. And like what they did was they pushed a lot of the original writers and the original artists out. Because number one, they didn't want to like what made a lot of them and they're alphabet women now, they're blue hair weirdos. A lot of them decided that the way that the female form was drawn was pretty sexist to them. You know, like there was this they compared a Spider Woman variant cover to a Spider Man variant cover, and this was a few years back. How Spider Man was crawling up the roof, and he was kind of, I guess, as he was crawling up on the ceiling, up on the roof, he was kind of bent over a little bit, and you know they showed a Spider Woman variant cover in the same pose. But a lot of these folks started complaining about the Spider Woman cover, saying that it was objectifying women when Spider Man posed the same way. So what happened was that mentality started to multiply, and like I said, a lot of the original writers were pushed out that were actually making the material good for these alphabet people that would come in, and instead of writing badass stories and showing badass material, what they would do is, you know, they, like I said, they start making the women overly powerful. They start making them into lesbos. They start, they would start to soften up the men. The men start getting beat up by women, and then you know, like there was this one story that I remember that it was some kind of weird love triangle between Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine. Now I never actually got this book, but you know I saw some YouTube videos about it, and they were like having a three-way with each other. Like you know, Wolverine and Cyclops was being gay with each other, and what would happen was, and what happened was, what you did was you took away what these guys were building for years, the rivalry between Cyclops and Wolverine as a quality story. So
Hmm.
this is when I stopped really messing with Marvel Comics for real. Like, I mean, I like the only thing I read from Marvel Comics in the past few years was the Immortal Hulk. Basically, the Immortal Hulk was a horror comic, but outside of that, they had.
I mean, well, I mean, well, the way brother Rob puts it, I mean, the way he kind of does make you to a comic book expert, like in a short amount of time. And I posted him in a private chat because I'm not a mod. Um, so, but this particular episode he came out with is just 8 minutes long, and he's a fast talker too. But what they're doing with Wonder Woman in this right here, in this man, dude, forget how powerful you think Wonder Woman is now. This is beyond like what you would think. You know what I mean, of how powerful Wonder Woman can become.
Right.
This is just beyond, man, crazy. Like of how much they are upping these women in
But
these damn Marvel's DC flicks and shit, man. It's crazy. If they
I,
ever was to come out with a movie on this, oh man, you think how many women you think will be cheering on this shit?
well, one of the things I've noticed about like with everything, and I hate to say something. That's the reason. One reason why I don't watch too many TV shows. They do it with everything. They have to just like it's like you can't let the story be the story. It's like you got to push some other agenda, or it's like you're forcing some other shit in it. And it's like, well, goddamn, the people who will like the story on this were here for years watching the story on this, and now you try to integrate something into the story, and you piss off the original fan base. I'm not even.
Oh, hey, what did y'all
I
think about the Eternals?
With the gay
Look,
black guy. Oh my
look,
god.
Oh man,
look. It pissed me off because not only was the black guy alphabet, everyone else was blatantly heterosexual.
Mhm.
Even the little girl.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
have you noticed that on damn near like every show? Like I watch TV shows, and it's like I try to get into a show. Oh God, here we go. They're gonna force the gay agendas on us. Or I mean, it's like, well, goddamn, can we just go to one? Can we just have one show without you trying to force something in? It's like, but it's in every fucking show now.
But
That's
you
one
notice that
reason why I don't watch
every
TV.
but you notice that
I mean,
every
it's in
alphabet
every.
character they
They
introduce
all.
is a black dude.
Yep. They got to be the weak black guy. It's like, God damn. I'm like, if I see another, it's like, goddamn. People ask me, well, why do you only watch a handful of shows? And it's like, because I hate to say I can't stomach it. I'm tired of, they got to force the gay agenda in there.
Yep.
Or they got to put the weak gay ass black dude. Or they got to put I'm like, God, dog, you know
and
what?
then
Just,
like
I watch shows about engineering. You know what I mean?
and Dre
I'm not gonna lie, like
Dre,
literally, you wouldn't believe. Most people come to YouTube and think that I'm only in the manosphere. It's a lot of engineers I watch. They talk about building the infrastructure and all that. Like one guy, like Grady. I don't know if y'all have ever watched his channel. He's an engineer. He's actually writing a book now about engineering. No, are y'all into any of that stuff? Never
uh,
heard of him.
no,
No,
I
I
never
never
heard
heard
of
of
him.
them.
But
Yeah,
I
he's a
definitely
YouTuber
check him
too.
out.
Well, he's got like 2 million subs, so it ain't like he's small. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's gotten to the point now where you be like, God damn, can we just have a normal everyday life? I mean, especially when it involves us, it's always got to be drug dealer, dope boy, gay. I mean, drug dealer, like I said, or gay, basically.
Yeah,
Drug
or
dealer, dope
weak, or weak. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. The Batwoman television series.
boy. Mm-hmm.
Like,
No,
Oh my god, I was thinking
like
about watching the second season with the black chick. I seen the first one with that. Yeah. Oh my god.
Now,
Go ahead,
now
though.
I give one credit. Like I watch some show. It was a show I used to watch called Suits before they took that off. Before that wasn't brought back. That was the first time I ever seen a black woman in power when she was running the office that didn't act like a fucking asshole. And I was surprised that like more people never brought her up. And I'm like, well, like I'm surprised when women say, oh, this is how a woman should conduct herself. Not one time have I ever heard, be like the black lady on Suits who was running everything. I mean, she wasn't gay. She wasn't doing none of the five thing. And she was respectful to her co-workers. And I'm like, I hate to say, that's a woman right there. And I'm surprised not to go to show you not one black woman even noticed her. I've never, like all these years of talking, even when awards were given online, I'm like, if y'all want a good, positive black female role model, there's one right there. And she don't like snobby as hell. But I mean, like literally to think back and try to say, name another show especially we went with a positive black female. Name one. Can you name any?
Yeah.
See, that's bad.
Yeah,
If you got to think hard.
We can't
I
have
mean,
that.
what about Valkyrie?
We can't have that, Dre. No.
What about Valkyrie? The chick that played as Valkyrie.
You mean on Thor?
Yep.
Thor, yeah, she's
alphabet character.
She's cool.
She's
She's
alphabet,
alphabet
though.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
alphabet.
she's like a stud.
Alphabet.
She's like a bi stud. But it's like, goddamn, can we get like, I ain't even gonna lie. That's one I just can't watch TV no more because, like, all right, which one is he? Is he gay? Is he, a bad person? Or is he a killer, murderer? I mean, come on now. Which one? It's one of them.
I'll take the killer murderer over the alphabet person. I'm so sick of that.
Any
narrative.
day.
I'm
told
so
people,
sick of that. I mean, and
I
that's
hate
the
to
thing.
say that. I take them too.
I'm gonna tell you something. I sit down with my wife and we'll sit back and we'll start watching the show, right? And we can automatically pick the alphabet character out the gate.
Yeah. Like, which one?
Is that you look and here it is. He looks virile. He looks masculine. And then he starts snapping his fingers or snapping his neck, and it's like, oh man, yeah.
I tell all the time. I say I call them raggedy ants, but that's why.
Hey, I don't know if you brothers hip to it though, but my brother Brutal Honest though, he showed Science Demon where he hip to anime, because you got some knowledge of it. When you mentioned about I heard you when you said about Hamon Baki. Yeah, the motherfuckers doing fine training. Trying to be the strongest they could be.
No, I will say this, like I say, I go in these comicbook.com comment sections, and every time they try to bring that agenda crap up, I will say something like manga is winning, and then automatically I got people commenting under there trying.
Are you serious? Hey, bet. I'm be doing the same shit. I shall be doing the same shit.
Manga is winning. I like it.
You damn right it is. Hey, you know what? What's funny about that though? Right? We all know if you know anime and manga, we know that they have elements of that in there, like the training and all that stuff. But it doesn't take away from the exhilaration and the anticipation and all that you receive from this anime to declare it as an awesome ass anime. There's animes that are awesome as hell, but they still have those little elements where you see these funny ass little characters. These dudes dressed up as, feminine as hell and all that shit. But it's the same with JoJo Bizarre Adventure.
But I hate to say, if you was especially a black male growing up, especially watching TV now, you'd be like, well, goddamn, which one is it? Like, I got to be thugged out, in jail, or gay. You think that those are the only paths to success for a child nowadays. Like,
which something that's funny is who remembers? And the thing that I hate is that he's a young actor. He committed suicide. Allegedly committed suicide anyway. But he had a show on Disney called it was something to Jet Jackson.
The famous Jet Jackson.
Jet Jackson. And I'm gonna tell you something that's funny. It shows and it showed a need for, because self-actualization, that's something that Dr. Naeem Akbar spoke about, was self-actualization. And us having those positive black role models or male images to see. Because I'm going to tell you something, and I saw it in my own household, because we had adopted my ex-wife's cousin's boys after she died. And I'm going to tell you something, the famous Jet Jackson would come on, and them boys, remember how we used to act back in the day on Saturday when Black Belt Theater came on? The streets would just be clear. Those boys could have been outside doing whatever. When the famous Jet Jackson playing video games, when that show came on, every young black male in my household was glued to the TV because he was intelligent, he was strong, he was all of those things, and they canceled the show.
Well, I think that too. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bigger agenda about other movements, just to make sure, because you want to keep men kind of docile, and it's more form of control. Because think about it, if they have to realize if these boys see something other than the standard type norm stuff, that would create a shit more competition. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's the reason why if you make more money, you're gonna send your kid to a better school, and a lot of times you don't really care too much about other people's kids as much because you figure that's the kid for competition for your kid. I mean, it's the reason why these people have got caught paying Harvard to get their children into school.
I'm gonna tell you, you might think I'm crazy, but honestly, when Django Unchained came out, I swear to God, I told my boys we are watching this every day.
Yeah.
We're watching Django every day.
You start to realize, especially as you get older, you be like, well, goddamn, maybe it's me because I've been able to. I figure I'll take from everybody, that you've been around. Like, one of my problems is I was quick to fight, as you see, still do. But I ain't gonna lie, I used to get by thinking of it as a younger person when I couldn't handle it that way. It cost me my job or anything. It was a guy who used to live next door to me. And when I was younger growing up, and I would always say, what would Odie do in this situation? And I would try to say, well, you know what? He would probably think about it this way, have this calmler. And it's bad that you have to sit back and think hard for people, to have some type of, you have nothing. You watch on TV, it just makes you look like the whole world treats you like shit. I ain't gonna lie, I feel sorry for these children growing up. I feel sorry for them. That's the reason why probably everybody gay or bisexual or does everything. It's too much, being pulled in too many different directions.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I uphold no loyalty for this country.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't like this country already. And people make comments. Well, why don't you go, nigga? Why don't you go somewhere else? Hate to say something. If Elon Musk was hiring people for the first generation on Mars, I would donate. I would go.
You don't
like, well, you can't come home. I don't give a shit. I can fix
You
shit.
don't have to go to Mars, brother. I mean, something a lot of us are unaware of is that the movements, and the thing is that this whenever there's something that could possibly benefit us, there's always a counter to that. Like for instance,
right.
The Ashanti, the king of the Ashanti in Ghana.
My brother's keeper.
10 years ago, okay. And it was on C-SPAN, but of course, it didn't go any further than that. But he actually apologized to African Americans for their role in the transatlantic slave trade. And that's why they started offering African Americans dual citizenship and the chance to purchase land at a much cheaper rate than anything. And the thing is like, we're so scared of leaving the damn plantation. And it's like, why?
I said, please, like if they said, oh, they make it a group and they say we need 100 people, you probably ain't never coming home, though. Okay, as long as y'all can make sure we don't starve to death, I'll be on the first one. I'll be on the first ones going. Why is that? I figure, I like to build shit anyway. I can fix damn near anything. So
and that's
I figure, hey,
like the chance
I'm gone.
Right.
Look, I ain't missing shit here. I hate to say, I'm not gonna lie. The way we are acting as a people, I'm actually really scared because unfortunately, I see a complete breakdown happening, and what's so bad? More sooner than later. Like I could always say, it ain't gonna be for another 10, 20 years. I see it probably within the next 10 max. And it's just like, it's just sad.
Yeah,
and the only way to change things is gonna have to be a complete breakdown. So we're gonna, I'm not always people worry about or what's gonna happen afterwards. I'm really worried about what people are gonna have to go through during the complete breakdown.
Yeah. And
that's
Dre,
what worries me more than anything.
Dre, you got a point, man. It's like, and this is a lot of what I see coming.
Can you imagine a people like, think about it. A person like me, you would think, well, shit, Dre ain't scared. He'll fight anybody. Yeah. But you don't want to have, I ain't gonna lie, you don't want to have people like me say the world broke down and law stuff as you know it. Can't say a person like me, you want to be on my friends list. I'll tell you that because you be like, oh, Dre, he can get resources. He might be able to do a couple things that might be against the law, but I mean, that's something you don't want society to, those are like skills you do not want to use, You don't want that on a grand scheme of things. And unfortunately, I just see that coming down the road. And it's just horrible. And we're not doing nothing to stop it. You realize that it's like we try to push everybody's life and everybody's agenda into everything. And instead of people going, like kind of like here with the channels. Okay, fine. I go to this channel to watch this. And then, okay, fine. When I don't want to watch that, I'm not in the mood, I change this channel to do that. People can't realize that they try to make, it's like they want to go in there and they want to fix a house with that Gator grip socket wrench and use that one wrench, one tool on everything. And it doesn't work that way. And I think that's going to cost, that's really bringing the breakdown of society because they want everything to be with just this one tool, create too many different groups.
Yeah, like I came in this so innately, man, because like 5 years ago when I came into the space, it was just solely just on some brotherhood shit, man. I just gravitated towards it, not trying to, purposely look for a group to belong to, but it was because of my fascination of finding
intelligent black
other men that resonate with the same things I do, and been through some of the same shit I've been through. Now some men they may have simped on a higher level than I, but they did a whole turnaround. So and the truth that they're speaking and all that, I gravitate towards us now. I've formed my own Voltron from all the places I done picked the meat off, spit out the bones of. So therefore, so I mean, I'm my own strong force, and that's the Hama force.
Well, I think that people too got to have to realize, because I think that they form this group mentality so much to where the fact is just like I can have a disagreement with you. And matter of fact, I had this conversation with BGS earlier. I said, disagreement and beef is two different things. If I have a disagreement, which, hey, that's your stance on that. I don't call that a beef. A beef is when I go and I'm mad at you and I hate the ground you walk on. That's a beef. I call it disagreement. Hey, man, that kind of like this. Dre likes big girls. Okay? Y'all can laugh and talk about me all you want, but hey, we know that's Dre. Everything's cool.
Hey, salute to you. I'm with you right there, bro. Salute.
Right, but people are like, it's like people. Well, no, man, don't fuck with them. They like Game Changers made plenty of bad talk about big women, but you see, that's just his opinion. Yep. I don't need to take, but you still see me over there. I don't need to take. Hey, that's the part I ignore. Like Kevin Samuels, I'm not a religious person. He talks about religion. As soon as he mentions a Bible scripture stuff, go in one ear and out the other. I don't even hear it.
Right. I mean, and you brought up a Game Changer though, bro. And I even told him this, which I don't care, about talking about it right now on live.
Right.
I told him straight up. I'm like, hey, bro, them chicks that weigh $125, $130. I'm like, that they're not, all this, angelic or whatever, because they're not, big women. I mean, come on now. How many women who are like not big women and have committed such heinous crimes towards men?
Well, I'm gonna say this too. Talk about big women. My bed's on the floor right now because I slammed a big girl on it. So I broke the bed and knew it. In a good way, not in a violent way. I forgot where we are. Not in a violent way.
Oh yeah, because of course.
Right. That type of slamming.
but let me shout out to Hurry Up and Buy. Thank you for the super chat. He said, just paying my tithes and offerings. yeah. And then I said this in the past, and a lot of people have said this recently, that, a lot of these YouTube content creators are preachers of different faiths.
Right.
I mean, metaphorically speaking, I don't consider myself a preacher. I'm just consider myself a guy who comes up here and tell you what the fuck I really think. And, Hurry Up and Buy, he's one of those guys that are here every other weekend. So, I mean, or every, like just about every show, as a matter of fact. Let me not even say it like that. So I appreciate you, guy. Salute.
Yeah, I even broke the box spring. That's how you know.
Yeah.
When you put
But
a crack
yeah,
in that motherfucker, that's how
it
you know.
yeah, you hear me, hey boy, and they be like, "Oh my God, you can pick that up, Ray? Yeah, I can pick her ass
Hey
up in the
man,
air and turn her upside down."
Oh
yeah,
my
shoot.
Shoot.
But I mean, like I said, is one of the things I corrugate over the space on. Okay, fine. If this how you are, that's your opinion. That's how you feel. We don't. I okay, cool. We already know that's how you are. It's okay. You don't have to be. We don't have to be 100% on. You got agree with everything 100%. As long as hey, we already know when it comes to that. That's how you handle things. Okay, fine. Hey, that's your opinion. You stand on your ground. That's fine. I'm not gonna hate you for having your way of thinking or on the ground you stand on.
But
Long as
they try to, yeah,
long as
that's
you, I
what
ain't
me
gonna
and
lie.
Brother Brutally, yeah, that's what me and Brother Brutally Honest was talking about, bro, earlier.
Right,
We was
right,
talking about how cats want to place their opinions, force
right.
their opinions and their ideologies upon you, try to shove it down your throat, make you
Uh,
conform
uh,
to their ways.
well, my one thing that I'll say like this: if you really want me to stop really fucking with you, just have no integrity. I need the integrity. Hey, man, you might say if you say I'm a say I don't eat meat at 9 a.m. Then 3:30 in the afternoon, you always eat meat. And oh no, nigga, I'd never be a vegetarian. But then tomorrow you're a vegetarian again, or whatever. It's like you keep flip flopping. So I figure a motherfucker like that'll just say anything, especially in this space. The only thing you can do is really talk to people. So if a motherfucker like that'll say anything at any time or place, I just choose not to be around them. I don't frequent panels that they go to. I don't call that having a beef. Because somebody said, "Oh, well, you had a beef with." Oh man, I said, "No, I didn't. I made no video." Well, you don't go over there no more. I said because Brute lacked integrity. Once you understand, it had nothing to do with a beef. It's just you
being
don't you don't
disingenuous.
set pick your square, stand there, take what the good that comes along with it. Don't just say it's like yeah, man. It's like everybody want to be in every fucking group. Like when they came out with High Value Man. Now all these motherfuckers want to be a High Value Man. For real? I mean, I'm like, well, goddamn. You know what I mean? Now it was like, okay. I used to sit there and say, well, hey, I'm not. You haven't never heard me say I'm a High Value Man. I sit there and like, if just a new fad, a new label comes out, everybody want to be a label, and I think that the LGBTQST whatever, all them letters came out. That was like the first label. At first, it was frowned upon. Then it was like, yeah, that's the end label, and it started back then. I noticed that as a younger, it's like that's the new label, and everybody want to be that part of the label. And it's like they come out with another label, and then everybody want to. I'm like, for real? I'm like, do you guys realize y'all just going from one fad to the next? Just be where you are. Hey, man, it's just where I am. Hey,
Those are people
like
that
that.
don't have that they don't know how to
You got
have their own mind. They're scared to have
right,
their own mind.
definitely. But I watch that, and I think that's what society. Every time a new label comes out, and then sometimes I think that people need to realize that every time a label comes out, you're not going to be. Not everybody. You're not going to be able to fit in all labels. You're just not. You're not. I mean, sometimes it's gonna be a group you're not gonna be in, and don't try to destroy the group because you ain't in it, or don't talk. It's just like, well, hey, man, I'm not in that group, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, be yourself because that's the like people don't understand. Being yourself is the easiest thing to be. When you try to fit in, you kind of conform to the ways of that doctrine,
hmm
which means that you have to try. I mean, I don't have to try to be myself. I mean, I don't
hmm
have to join a trend or anything like that. When people are in the chat saying "Long live the habitual line steppers," that doesn't mean that you have to co-sign with me at every turn, or there's a certain image you have to portray, or you don't even have to find it necessary to step over the line even when it's unnecessary. It's just a thing that we say. It's nothing that we expect you to co-sign because it's trendy. Now, like the high value man thing, I don't call myself a high value man just because of the fact that not because I don't fit into those tenets, is because these dudes are calling themselves high value men, and you know, a lot of them just plain out, in fact, just don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Mhm.
Like they don't even have a regular value system, let alone a
Mhm.
high value system. And I mean, like just and you know, is like that TikTok video. You know, you seen that TikTok video? That dude was like Kevin Samuels, Kevin Samuels, Kevin Samuels.
Oh man, that was hilarious. And the Dragon Ball Z references.
Oh man, like yeah, a lot of these dudes do that. They you know, like
I-
especially like it like look, Kevin Samuels is Kevin Samuels. Let that man be Kevin
right,
Samuels. I'm not Kevin Samuels. You know,
right. I used to
my
tell people all the time. I sit back and laugh because I'm up here like, especially when you hear them now. I'm like, you realize we got plenty of all these people that, especially when you hear the women talk. The man been talking like that for 3 years before he was famous. I mean, he's been talking. Kevin Samuels was never the type of person to really just go chopping, biting people's head off. That's why I was sitting there laughing when they got on him about the average at best shit. I'm like, well, shit, evidently he ain't never come to none of our panels. If them motherfuckers, imagine if one of them sound bite, that's probably why they hate us. Because
Ooh,
Kevin
what do
was
y'all think
always
about the
the kid
controversy of
glove
him
type
between?
person. He can't.
What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about the controversy between him and Nicki Minaj?
Oh man, Nicki Minaj is. I think he play, even though people probably don't say, I think he played it right. See, one, I figured, he had just made a video with whatever that person's name is, somebody in the music industry. So I figured, what you want to do is,
future.
future, yeah. What you want to do is maybe because I've been a salesman before. Sometimes it's like, have you ever took a loss here because you knew you could do more later? And it's been sometimes where I fuck with people and build houses with people I shouldn't have because I didn't get all my money. But just because of me, I'll open the door and 10 other black people that I know got on through that. So sometimes I think that you can't always go biting people's head off and stuff. Like I haven't watched anything lately because I ain't gonna lie. I watch his monologue, and then most of the time when the women callers get up there, I stop watching because I hate to say it's like just the women are stupid as fuck. It goes to show that these bitches get on the damn show and they have not paid attention to anything. So then when I think about it in lay terms, that goes to show you that these women ain't even smart enough to do no fucking research to get a dude. You know what I mean? No fucking research whatsoever. This man been asking the same motherfucking questions, and you bitches can't answer these questions yet for supposedly a nigga that you want. You can't even do a Google search to get a nigga that you want. That's gonna put more money in your pocket. So that goes to show you that these women just don't give a fuck about us. They're just programmed to not give a fuck
Right.
about us. So I ain't even gonna lie. When I look at it as now, the only bitches I give attention is if they doing something for me. If you ain't doing nothing for me, you don't get none of my attention.
Here,
I got
here.
to be getting paid or laid. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If Kevin Samuels show did anything for me, hey man, hey, I need to be paid or laid. Which one? Oh, you ain't doing either one. Bye. I mean, like literally, if you could be broke down on the side of the road, you got some money? I got paid or laid. What? Oh, neither one. Bye. I don't even hold, like plain and simple. I don't even waste my time. I don't hold door open, but I've been like that for years. Don't hold the door open for women. Let's say old people. I've done that for old people, but it's like I really don't care. I remember when I was back riding the bus, all these men sitting down, and none of you offered it. And I made a comment. Yep, not one of us. And y'all could at least offer a lady the seat. Could I said saying it's like that's because I got into it one time. I got kicked off the bus. I said, "Yep," and all these men in here, y'all could at least offer us some head. Everybody just looked at me and said, "Oh my gosh!" Now you want to go? Don't tell me to offer me shit. Paid or laid.
Yeah, a lot of men are scared to make a woman earn
Well,
everything that he gives her.
I ain't gonna lie, man. If they get, maybe too. I'm quick to fight, so they even get smart with me. I'll chop your head off right off. Most of the time, people in public just let the shit go. And the problem is, I think that's what we've done. We've just let the shit go for so long that just allow that behavior to manifest where they think they can talk to you like shit. Now, if a woman step out of hand, I get immediate. But what the fuck you gonna do about it, bitch? And that most of the time they don't even look. I said, advise you to. I see 2 men in here. I advise you to take their fucking ass in the corner, to give them some head, and tell them to come fight this battle for you. And most of the time they just what? Yeah, I said we just gonna go right there. Who the fuck you getting loud with? Because a lot of times they looking for another man to put you in check. I advise you get one of these simps over here. Because I said it one. Matter of fact, it's a video where a woman was squaring up on me. And matter of fact, did I show you that video, Kevin?
Yeah, you
I
showed
said,
that
you
video.
better get, it was 4 men behind me. I said, you better get one of these simps behind me. I said, because you touch me, bitch, I'm going to stomp the living shit out of your ass. I turned around and looked, and you heard the dude in the background said, everybody turned and looked away. They wasn't going to do shit. And after that, that's when it's like, I said,
Yeah.
but it's our problem. We've allowed it to manifest. I hate to say a lot of times, too, in some accidents, you have to. Because society has made it where too many women call your job, you can get fired. You know what I mean? Maybe I have that freedom because I'm not at a job where if 5 or 6 people called my job about my channel or what I said online can get me fired. So I have to look at it as not every man can do that because, you know, a lot of us living paycheck to paycheck. Your check stops for a month. That'll put you in behind all because you gave somebody a piece of your mind who really deserved it, you know?
Yeah. Hey, let me say this real quick. I was on Instagram and I'm on Now This. I made a comment on Now This Politics. It says Joe Biden shares pizza selfies with U.S. troops in Poland. And then somebody wrote the comment. I said, "Don't see Trump doing that." And then I replied to that comment. I was like, "Yeah, didn't see Trump doing that." Now, look, I didn't vote for Donald Trump either time. But I was like, yeah, didn't see Trump doing that. What I did see with Trump was black people visiting the White House to address issues impacting the black community. But who cares about that?
All right.
So,
Well, I ain't gonna lie. The Joe Biden, I hate to say something, and it goes. If the women were smart, this is when the black women should especially see. It's like, where is that meme where the guy is standing up on the podium and it's got black people and it's like a dog barking.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I probably posted that in my community.
Comment?
No, I didn't. But
I said it had to be a female dog because you saw it. Right.
Hey,
because I said.
But Drake, listen up though. I didn't tell people that just so they can like listen to my comment. The fact of the matter is, there's a guy that called me a coon because of that.
Right.
He said you post a lot of raccoon stuff, even sound like one. Hope that didn't go
Oh, what the hell?
No, for real. Like, I don't post a lot of coon shit. But see, people assume that shit. And so I have to make a snide remark. I was like, no, it didn't go over my head. In fact, you say that about me like I wrote the crime bill.
Right.
Protect your zanny.
Wow.
Right. The thing is, if anything is, if you really and go to show you, I told you how black people are used for shit. Surprised these women ain't sitting up here mad and shit as hell because they got played like a motherfucker. He did exactly. Think about it. Look at it like he gave $2 billion to HBS historically black colleges, but gave $12 billion to what they call them people. Gave to Mexican and all. Literally
Ukraine. Ukraine. Joe Biden.
No, you gave $12 billion to the colleges. Right. You gave $12 billion to them. We only got 2. And I'm sitting up here like, y'all black women was trying to vote this person in office. And all this bitch did when she got there was talk about how she ain't black now. You know, if anything, y'all need to be slapping the shit out of her ass every time you close to her. I mean, but I'm like, goddamn. I said, talk about how to get played. Like, I think about it. I already knew that Biden. I mean, this nigga got in as vice president. It ain't like you try to get none of them niggas out of jail that you put in with the crime bill. I mean, if you really wanted to say you were sorry, hey, look, man, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back. All them people that's in jail for the bullshit, the street strikes, and all that, we're gonna release some of them. Why? Non-violent offenders, we can get y'all motherfuckers out of jail. You wouldn't do that because one, your prison sponsors that own private prisons, y'all probably had to let a lot of people go. Because I hate to say, I don't think drug users or addicts should be in jail unless they go to jail for stealing. But not because you caught them with some dope. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, look.
I mean, look what you did. Heroin
I'm
is a
gonna say this.
disease now, but when it was crack, when it was us, no, lock them up.
Yeah, and opioids and shit
Right.
like
I
that.
said, but oh no, it's a problem, and we're gonna open up more. No, you basically what you did is this, and you said, I'm gonna make money off the black people. We're gonna send their ass to jail. Now my private people who own businesses that do the rehab centers trying to help all your opiate people. Oh, those are just hospitals. No, motherfucker, put them bitches in jail too, like you did us.
Well, see, you know how that goes, man. It's not a problem till it affects white people.
Right.
Okay, that's always been the
Of
situation.
course.
And but like a strong point that you brought up is like, listen, because the prison industrial complex was built off of the whole crack. They made money off of. They made crazy money off of us. Okay,
Thank
and
you.
controlled our numbers through the whole crack epidemic. Okay, they were able to make money. Well, of course, off crack, prison industrial complex, the drugs being sold, the guns being sold and bought, and how they tie that whole thing into the hip hop culture. Man,
Right. But
yet,
but yet now they go heroin and what? I mean, you really want to get. I mean, you really want to get some motherfuckers that you. I mean, y'all really talking about you want to put some butts in the chairs. Then what? You can take your ass down to Wall Street. Take your ass to any damn big mortgage firm where they doing all these houses. Oh, I used to work at a mortgage firm. All them white boys was coked up all the time.
But see, that's
I mean, like literally.
But see, that's the thing, though. That was a recreational drug for them, and they had the means to support the habit. You know, there wasn't an agenda behind it other than, you know, hey, this is a sign of you. If you have coke, you know, it shows you're with the boys. You know, the thing that kills me with what's going on is how people are like turning a blind eye to the fact, like, look, man, what's going on right now? You can't blame black people for that. This is, you know, they actually went to Afghanistan. One of the reasons they went there was to have them restart cultivating the poppy seed plant again, because a lot of people are unaware of the fact that the Taliban had stopped it.
Well, the Taliban, we was working with them motherfuckers. A lot of people don't realize the reason why they got mad at us is because we was actually supporting them to knock somebody else out of power, and then we just left them holding the bag. Like a lot of people think that Russia and the Ukraine shit, but no offense, we had a part to doing that too, because the rule was they wasn't supposed to join NATO. Now, what the fuck we do? Go over there trying to get them to join NATO, knowing what that shit would do.
But see,
I mean, no offense, we ain't no. It ain't like our hands is clean.
No, but see, I'm glad you brought that point up, because you know something. A lot of people are on the. It's like, you know something. Joe Biden and the boys. That whole situation with Russia and Ukraine, to me, seems like it's a situation like, listen, tell Benny, the big kid on your block, listen, tell Benny you're going to sell candy any damn way on the block, even though this is Benny's territory. And it's like, don't worry about it. We got your back. So they pump Zelensky up to do this, try to join NATO shit. And what do you expect Putin to do?
Right. Well, I ain't going to lie. I mean, that is the same damn shit. Damn near. I mean, it ain't as bad because you ain't.
I mean, I don't mean to jump subjects like that, but it's like, yeah, man.
That's Cuban Missile Crisis all over again.
Stay out of my fucking head. Stay out of my head.
Oh, you were thinking that too?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right. Cuban Missile Crisis.
Look how they acted the fool when Russia moved those damn missiles.
Thank you. I said what? Now, if anything is,
so what do you expect Putin to do? Yeah.
Cuban Missile Crisis all over again.
Yeah, but people don't remember stuff like that. You know, no.
I mean, to sit up here and know that we're like, God damn, these motherfuckers just don't pay attention to shit. And then you are, like I tell them, in every story, even the bad people, there's always an ounce of truth in it. See, sometimes that's the thing. You can't always sit up here and say, because I ain't gonna lie. I mean, what would you do if a person encroaching on you're gonna probably do something? Hey, man, we got to make sure it's not too damn close.
But see, it's not just. I'm gonna tell you where he's really smart at with his whole invasion. Because, okay, most people aren't aware of the fact that in order for negotiations to take place, the threat of mutual annihilation must exist. Okay?
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Me allowing
you in my head now.
Okay. So
Like I
that's
said,
what I'm
break
saying.
some fucking eggs.
Me allowing you to place these missile batteries close to my border and basically negate my defense system is basically reducing my ability to negotiate. I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to let you do that. No.
Because I tell people all the time, I said, that's too fucking close. I said, well, think about it. For you to have a launch detection and for your thing to be able to shoot them down, if they only going 200 feet above the ground, you ain't stopping that shit. Period. So you just negated everything by being that fucking close.
Mm.
And I told him, I said, as you don't realize a person of the power that's too fucking close. I know I wouldn't, because why? I mean, if anything is, I hate to say it, to the point like this is, they should have got rid of NATO a long time ago, to me, myself, because
Well, you know that's not going to happen.
yeah, it's not going to happen, but it's like we spending way too much damn money. You know, and it's the fact is, the other countries, I mean, I understand, but it's like, I don't know. It's like somehow we're going to have to go to a complete reset and just get the rules standard. These are the standard rules of the land. That's what it is, because I ain't going to lie. The more rules, it just complicates things even more.
That's what allows them to control things, NATO.
Right. But I'm telling you, it complicates things anymore, because you just, like I said, the biggest problem the United States going to have is all these homegrown terrorists actually here that they create. That's the bad thing.
Yep. And I say, damn it, a strong nation is a result of strong families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
and we don't have that.
They don't want that. They don't. Okay, they don't want that. They want sheep.
But yeah, they do want sheep. But this is the problem: there's problems that come along with having sheep.
Not to them.
The problem with having sheep is other countries realize. Think about it. Other countries realize. Wait a minute, the Americans are sheep over here. Like, China's the king of waiting it out. I wouldn't even be surprised if they had a whole fucking agenda to themselves, because China want their chance to run everything. And people say, "Oh, they never do that. They consider us to be, they need all our money that we spend." Hate to say something, people who really don't give a shit about the money or want power, they'll want the power before your money any day.
Yeah.
Sometimes China could be like, "Well, fuck it. We just gonna use this as a big fuck you to the United States."
Yeah, but ain't they having like a feminist problem over there too?
Oh yeah, but they're trying to nip it
section for the leftover women.
Oh, China don't play them games, man. That girly man shit. Oh, that whole LG alphabet people shit. Oh, they snuffed that quick.
Yeah, over there too. Because I ain't gonna lie, if you see, we got the perfect thing right now. What you want to do? Take over a place? You reduce their numbers, and you make it harder for them. Like I wouldn't be alive. You reduce their numbers. Already, you see so many people getting to 30 years old and still being a virgin. Because like when we were younger, to hear somebody 30 years old and never had sex, that was like, what? But I mean, now you see it's more and more. You see men like we're now. We didn't masculinize our women so much to where the men are just be like, forget it. You got young people, forget it. And I mean, they use it first with us. We're the litmus test. If the black men are, hey man, I ain't even trying. Or I just buy some when I need some. You don't increase your numbers to the population that way. Because 9 times out of 10, you ain't having no kid with a whore. So what do? You totally broke down the system. That'll be less, but eventually they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to make to get men. I ain't gonna lie. They've left a bad taste in men's mouth. To get men to even worry about going back to dating and all that crap as strong as they really want. They would have to roll back some of these laws. We ain't gonna do none of this crap where, okay, fine. If a woman says you did something, from now on, we ain't putting you on blast until after the case.
Oh yeah. Getting into being like that kind of structure of family.
Right.
We're gonna have a war with the damn LGBT.
Oh, definitely. Them raggedy ends are gonna be coming out all over. And that's in the beginning, it was okay. It didn't bother me. You know, like I remember when I had friends that were, and it didn't bother me. But now it's like, God damn, now they're just pushing that agenda to every fucking where. And it's just bothering the shit out of me. It's like, okay, come on now. We done let it say it's be normal. We're cool. Now it's this, that, and the other. You try to take over every fucking movement. Now you want to have what they want to do. They want to have what they call a changing closet in school. In some schools, they want to do that shit where the kid can go in and then wear other clothes and
Oh
come out.
God. Let kids be kids, man. Like,
Yeah.
Right. I mean, let that shit go, man. I'm like, God. I mean, Finch, you pushing the crap so fucking much to where the fact is these motherfuckers gonna be so damn confused they ain't gonna know. I
That's
mean,
the
because I ain't gonna
objective.
lie. At 9 years old, I kind of knew. I was like, I didn't know what pussy was, let alone that I never wanted any. you know, when you it's just, huh? You can't. They can't make that decision. They're too young, and this is the bad thing. They like, oh no, you should let them do what they want. Yeah, you realize every time you want to take, if you want to keep unstructure everything, then you wonder why everybody running around like a chicken with the head cut off.
But see, that's the thing. Everything that you know, they're aware of that. That's what they want.
Yeah, they
They don't want, like
strive.
you
It's like
said. We said,
strive
okay,
on
a
destruction.
strong nation comes from a strong family structure. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want that because you know something. If you got strong family units, guess what they're not going to do? Put up with the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have pushback. You're going to have resistance. You might have a damn war on your hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The same thing with controlling us as people. The first thing that they did, they realized that, and I'm not a huge fan of Umar Johnson, but I'm going to tell you something. One thing that he said is true is they realized that the real power structure among us was our family units.
Mm-hmm.
And they went straight to work with destroying our family units.
Yeah, and they did a very good job.
That's like right now, you
Very
cannot
good
talk
job.
about everything that goes towards building us and making us solid people. You can't talk to these black women about that today because it is completely contrary to their power structure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're supposed to be controlling you because Master said so. It's not supposed to be the other way around. It's not supposed to be God, black man, black woman, black child. That's the family unit. No. She's supposed to be able to tell you what to do. She's supposed to have complete control over you.
Yeah. Like I
So,
said, well, unfortunately, if they're making it to the point to where, like I say, paid or laid. I mean, and I see it everywhere because, when I step out and I do my little run sometimes for the gig work at night, and sometimes I go in bars. The men are over there chilling by themselves. Sometimes the women go out there looking. You see them sometimes looking real nice, and the men ain't even. They're like, whatever.
all right, guys. Let me give some shout outs real quick. I see Anthony Drosso's down there, Sir Charles, Hard Buck, Dollar Washer, Telescope. Well, I did call out Telescope 3, but hey, we're well over 3 hour mark. Look, great convo. But guys, any Son is Hot Rob, what's going on? Glad to see you showed up.
Good brothers you mentioned. Good brothers.
Oh yeah, but let's get some final thoughts out there. Any one of you can go first.
Ah, well, I'll say, I'll say this, man. It is not meant for us to have a woman's heel on our necks. No, you need to stand and be his man. You're the leader. She follows you. Not the other way around. All right. It is not meant for your face to be up her ass. So that's all I got. And thank you, bro, for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you. As I call you big bro because you're older. So
Okay.
right on.
Okay.
Appreciate you, brother. Hopefully catch you soon, man. Hopefully catch you coming with something soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So any one of y'all can go next.
I just want to say, listen, Kev, appreciate it as always. Um, Black men, stick to your guns. And I just appreciate the opportunity to voice my opinions.
Word. And yeah, that's always awesome for a black man to not, be afraid to say what's on his mind, and that's the point that I try to emphasize with you guys each and every time I come to this platform and in real life. So, thank you for gracing us with your presence and sharing your thoughts and opinions.
Thank you.
All right, Dre.
No, I have nothing. That's it.
Oh, you got nothing. All right. Well, well,
After what he said right there, we'll end it on that note.
okay, awesome. Awesome. All right. Now, here's my final statement as far as the topic and everything that has been discussed tonight. What you see is what you get, and with this platform and with this space, uh, as much as you may be objective to what's being said, as far as the space goes, whether we talk about politics, men's rights, child support, and or women. Uh, if you don't like it, then let me put the picture back up here. If you don't like it, there's the door right there. I mean, because we gave, and this is what I'll say to black men of the past, and a lot of our fathers, were in these groups. We let everyone else have the floor without us really saying anything. And as much as I love giving black men the opportunity to express ourselves, there's a lot of black men that is around our ages and younger that are still stuck in that mind frame, and they are really bothered by the things that we have to say. And a lot of the things that we have to say are really in the best interest of black men. I do get the whole complaining thing. We don't want to catch ourselves complaining too much about shit that we can't control. But for the things that we can and work toward controlling, we can feel free to say whatever we would need to say that as far as it pertains to that. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Leadership is not done in silence. Leadership is not done in conformity. You have to be honest with these people. In fact, that this has to be done in short order because black men as a collective let bullshit slide for too long. And with me being on this platform, in my honest opinion, this has to be brutally honest because there's not much time left at all. I do agree with Judge Dre on that. It's like this whole breakdown that is about to happen. It might happen within the next decade. It's our identity. It is us as a group of people, and it's not just for black men. It's for black women and black children. We gotta stop letting everyone else make this decision for us because it's a weak look. It really is. So this is what I'll leave you guys with. Now, like I said, as this picture is up here on the screen, if you don't like it, you know what to do. Period. Because I'm not gonna make you stay, and I'm not gonna make you assert the truth. I'm not gonna do it. You have to make that decision on your own. So, uh, whereas a lot of people believe that this is a good channel for them to visit, some people don't. The brutal honesty makes them uncomfortable, and if it makes you uncomfortable, then hey, you know what? I ain't got shit to do with that. I mean, either you listen or you don't want to listen. So let me end it on this note right here. Like I said, like I've had people unsub because they don't necessarily agree with me, and that's fine. So if anyone else want to leave, be my guest. But for those who stay, we will continue to work toward what the actual message is, what the actual message should be, and you are the guys that I do appreciate. So let's continue to have these pertinent discussions. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. The topic will be socially acceptable versus socially awkward. So I have many different points to bring up on that, and it should be a very interesting one. So Time to go. Long live the habitual line steppers. I am going to win. See you guys next time. Peace.